After a pair of rainouts over the last 3 days, the Harbor Hawks have hit the road for the first time in 2019 as they've traveled out west to battle the Falmouth Commodores, who have started the year at 2-0. Hyannis, here in 2019, looks to avenge a couple of things against the Commodores, a couple bones to pick with the team out west in Falmouth. Not only did the Commodores eliminate the Harbor Hawks in back-to-back games in last year's postseason, but Hyannis looks to pick up its first win in Falmouth in almost 4 seasons. To do so, they'll turn to the mound and the right-hander Tyler Madison out of Bryant in what will be another mid-major versus Power 5 matchup between the two clubs. Madison, the sophomore out of Bryant, set to make his first start of the summer as he'll oppose Carmen Majinski from South Carolina, who made just 3 appearances in his 2019 season before an injury cut his year short. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Commodores on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And with that, we welcome you in. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe. We'll have much more here for you when we return after the national anthem. Stick around for more of the pregame coming up next. And with that, we welcome you back onto the broadcast. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here from Falmouth tonight, and thanks so much for spending your Friday evening with us. So, Brendan, we touched on it a little bit in the open, but the Harbor Hawks sending out Tyler Madison tonight for his first start of the summer. What are you kind of looking for out of him in his first start on the Cape?
Well, I'm excited to see what Madison has to offer here tonight, Lyle, in Falmouth. I got a chance to watch him last summer in the NECBL. He features a very hard fastball, and he can mix in a slider and a curve very well also. So I'm looking for him to try and keep these Falmouth hitters who have been on fire off balance tonight. As you mentioned earlier on, started off 2-0. Couple tough bouts for the Harbor Hawks at home, so trying to pick it up here on the road.
And you talk about those tough bounces as they hit the road for the first time this season. They dropped an extra innings thriller in Falmouth on opening night. That was all the way back on Monday. Then on Wednesday night, they suffered an 11-0 loss with just 2 hits to their name against the Katuitt Kettleers. So tonight, they're hitting the road. Maybe that can kind of shake things up a little bit for them for the better, Brendan.
Yeah, definitely. A change of scenery sometimes is all it takes to get these guys going. An hour bus ride here to Falmouth today gives these guys a chance to kind of connect on a more personal level. A lot of these guys coming from different schools that, they don't really see each other too often. So sometimes that bus ride over can give them a chance to, talk some baseball and strategy and different things that'll help these guys get going.
Well, they look to get things going on offense, and 2 strong reinforcements being put into the lineup tonight for the first time this summer. Harbor Hawks lineup will go like this. Mitch McIntyre leading off playing right field. He'll be followed by Nick Lofton, one of the 2 Harbor Hawk additions so far tonight. He's the Baylor shortstop in the number 2 slot, followed by Trevor Hoover. Second year with the Harbor Hawks, first game in 2019. He'll be hitting third, playing left field, the Arizona State Sun Devil, followed by Hunter Goodman in the cleanup spot, the Memphis designated hitter. Jared DeSantolo making his second start of the summer, hitting 5th, playing 3rd. Brooks Carlson in the 6th spot, playing first base. And the final third of the lineup, Adam Hackenberg getting his first start behind the dish, Jackson Olsen at second base, and Bryce Teodosio rounding out the 9 and playing center. And on the Falmouth side of things, Carmen Majinski, who just finished, well, what would have been his sophomore year, but through just 10 and a third innings, a foot injury cut his season short, and as a result, he gained an extra year of eligibility. So when he takes the mound tonight, it'll be the first time since early March that he's stepped on a rubber in game, and he's set to face a Harbor Hawks lineup. For Majinski, is a fastball that sits in the low to mid 90s, can also mix in a curve. It's more with the 11 to 5 movement, is not so much the 12 to 6, and has a changeup as well. And Brendan, as the Falmouth lineup takes the field for tonight, they've been off to a pretty hot start so far, and you have to think they're going to be pretty motivated to play behind a guy who has almost gone 3 months without starting.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives him a chance to try and get it back into the groove of things. His defense, no doubt, is going to want to pick him up. And this Harbor Hawk lineup struggled back on Wednesday, Lyle, as you mentioned, just 2 hits. So there's incentive for both sides here tonight. Try and go out and get a win.
So infielders, outfielders getting warm just moments away from the top of the first as Majinski starts to get some warm-up pitches in as he throws from about the 3/4 arm slot. But Brendan, while we have a minute or two, let's go back and touch on those couple of reinforcements being inserted into the Harbor Hawk lineup tonight. First off, Nick Lofton, the Baylor shortstop, who for a lot of the season hit over 380 before coming a little bit back down to earth, but what a shot in the arm for this lineup.
Absolutely, Lyle. You mentioned the addition of Lofton and Hover as 2 sort of reinforcements for this Harbor Hawk lineup, trying to give him a jump start here tonight on the road. I was watching Lofton. You mentioned his offense. I was watching him in pregame warm-ups on defense. Incredible range, going left and right, and also flipping those double plays in the middle tonight with Olsen.
The Jackson Olsen, who spent the first 2 games at shortstop, will slide over and give way to the new Baylor shortstop Lofton, as Olsen, the Hartford middle infielder, will be playing second base. Hover, meanwhile, who spent every start of his Sun Devil 2019 season out in left field, makes the start in that very spot in his second season with the Harbor Hawks, his first start of 2019. Now, Brendan, he had a pretty good summer last year. He hit right around 270, 1 home run to his name, but he had an absolute monster season in his sophomore year, so you know he's going to have something to prove even further here in 2019.
Absolutely, and you look to impress the scouts when you come up here to Cape Cod, and Trevor Hover's no different. You mentioned that monster campaign he had in his sophomore season. I'm sure that he's going to have some pop in that bat going forward, and a great addition to the Harbor Hawk lineup.
Well, things just about set to get underway at Gov Fuller Field as Falmouth catcher Michael Turner throws down to second base. The ball is given back to the right-hander Majinski, and McIntyre makes his way over to the left side of the batter's box. We're about set to get underway. A beautiful sunny day here in Falmouth. Some scattered clouds throughout the sky, but weather sits right at 67 degrees. A little bit of wind flowing throughout the ballpark as well. Right-hander Majinski gets his sign out of the windup. First pitch fastball plunks McIntyre right on the back of the leg, and that's how we get started. 1 pitch, 1 base runner for the Harbor Hawks as McIntyre flips his bat back toward the dugout, trots down to first, and it'll give way to Nick Lofton. First pitch time, 5 o'clock here from Falmouth.
Well, that's one way to get your night started if you're the Harbor Hawks. First start in a couple months, as you mentioned, Lyle, for Majinski. Not the way he envisioned it.
So now 1 on. And with the blink of an eye, it gives way to Nick Lofton in the number 2 spot, set to make his Harbor Hawk debut. Got a close stance together from the right side. Takes the first pitch fastball down and away. So Lofton, first team All Big 12 at Baylor, sported a .323 average with 27 extra base hits in 2019. But he makes the switch over to the wood barrel as he flips the bat above his right shoulder and watches another down and away fastball. So Majinski, 3 straight balls to start his evening. 2-0 to Lofton with 1 on. The runner McIntyre being held on by the first baseman Alex Volpe. So Majinski out of the stretch fires home. Fastball right at the bottom of the knees. The 2-1 as Lofton steps out of the box. The infield playing back, with the exception of the first baseman Alex Volpe holding on the runner. Outfielders pretty much straight up as well. Now the 2-1, cut and a miss, and the count evens.
Lively fastball that time from Majinski, blowing it right by Lofton. Looked a bit to be a bit late on that swing.
So Hyannis, a good sign early with a leadoff man aboard. Looking to pick up their first win of the season in 2019. And now the 2-2 incoming. Fastball high and away. The full count to the Baylor Bear, Nick Lofton, who hails from Corpus Christi, Texas. Falmouth, 2-0, fresh off a 1-0 victory in 9 innings out in Chatham the other day, as Majinski with a hard pickoff move over to first, but back with a head-first slide, Mitch McIntyre. No earned runs were tallied by either side in that contest, as Majinski's ready with the full count offering. Cut and a miss. Lofton throws the bat back toward the screen, but taking off safely on the steal to second, Mitch McIntyre slides in safe without a throw. So now 1 down and a stolen base credited to McIntyre.
Good job by Majinski to keep Lofton off balance that time, as you can see by the release of the bat. Coming over toward where we are behind the fence here. But more importantly, a runner in scoring position now with what's just 1 out.
So now that brings up Trevor Hauver, set to make his 2019 Harbor Hawk debut. The left-handed hitting outfielder from Arizona State. Knees bent at the plate, bat just above his left shoulder. Takes a first pitch fastball outside. So Hauver quickly with an RBI opportunity as McIntyre stands at second. But for Falmouth, that 1 run in the 1-0 victory came after Austin Langworthy produced an infield single. And now the pitch incoming. Majinski paints a fastball right on the outer black. So 1-1 to Hauver, but back to the 1-0 win. The Langworthy infield single. Wild pitch takes second. Pass ball takes third, and then a sacrifice fly scores them in the top of the 9th frame. And that was all Falmouth would need to pick up their 2nd win of the year. 1-1 to Hauver. Pop fly into shallow left field. In comes Austin Langworthy. He makes the catch on the run. Grabs it right at the belt level, and retreating back to second base will be Mitch McIntyre. So Hauver floats one into short left field. Langworthy with a good beat on it early, and it's 2 down for Hunter Goodman.
Yeah, Majinski's approach in that at bat to Hauver was away, away, away. And Hauver didn't square that one up just how he wanted to. Got it off the end of the bat and floated it into left field, as you mentioned. Nice play from Langworthy for the out.
So Majinski showing a good fastball early. They'll check the runner at second and deliver home. Fastball outside. The Falmouth defense tonight from left to right in the outfield. Austin Langworthy, Blake Dunn, and Austin Maisel. Same way in the infield. Steven Moretto, Hayden Cantrell, Chris Rinaldi, and Alex Volpe. And the 1-0. That's a fastball right at the letters, and it evens the count. One more time, the battery tonight. Michael Turner, the Kent State catcher behind the plate. And Carmen Majinski, making his first start in almost 3.5 months in game action. The lengthy righty checks the runner and fires home. Breaking ball in the dirt, chested up by the catcher Turner, and no advancement from McIntyre at second. Goodman produced one of the 2 Harbor Hawk hits in Wednesday's contest against Cotuit. He had that leadoff double to begin the bottom of the 5th, but nothing further. He wiggles the bat out just behind his head, gives a healthy hack, but comes up empty at that 2-1 offering. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Deuces wild to the Memphis designated hitter Goodman. If we get there, Jared DeSantolo waits on deck from Florida Atlantic. No hold at second. Majinski fires home. Goodman flips one over the first base dugout and out of play. Hunter Goodman, a utility player, as he has the ability to play catcher, as well as third base and outfield, but tonight in the designated hitter spot. Just fresh off a .326 average in his freshman year at Memphis. 2-2 from Majinski. Wave and a miss, strike 3. Swings right over the top of a curveball from Majinski, and that'll do it for the top of the 1st. Leadoff hit by pitch to Mitch McIntyre, but nothing going after that. We'll be back for the bottom of the 1st. Falmouth gets their first licks when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at Gov Fuller Field, just moments away from the start of the bottom of the first here in Falmouth, as it'll be the right-hander Tyler Madison out of Bryant University, set for his first start of the summer. The righty set to face a Falmouth lineup as follows. It'll be Hayden Cantrell leading off from Louisiana Lafayette. He'll be followed by Blake Dunn, then Austin Langworthy, Michael Turner in the cleanup spot, Stephen Moretto, the Sac State third baseman, hitting fifth, Jake Frasca, the Sacred Heart designated hitter, in the sixth slot. And the final third of the order, two returners from Holy Cross, Austin Mazel, Alex Volpe, and rounding out the nine, another Holy Cross man, but the second baseman, Chris Rinaldi. Throw down to second from Hyannis catcher Adam Hackenberg. Ball flipped back to Tyler Madison on the mound. We're just about set to get started here in the bottom of the first. Madison coming off a very strong season out at Bryant in Smithfield, Rhode Island, where he had 15 starts, 80 and a third innings pitched, a 9-1 record with a 3.47 ERA, 30 walks to 67 strikeouts. Works from the first base side of the rubber and out of the windup. First pitch, fastball cranked, deep right field. Backtracking McIntyre, he's at the wall, looks up, and it's gone. One pitch, one bomb. Hayden Cantrell gives Falmouth a shot in the arm in the bottom of the first. It's a solo blast to put the Commodores up 1-0.
Yeah, first pitch of the game that time from Tyler Madison, left the fastball middle. Probably expected Cantrell to just get a look at him first, but no, first pitch swinging, and he drives it to deep right field. No chance for McIntyre as he watches it sail.
Number 23, Blake Dunn.
So Cantrell was hunting that first pitch fastball. He saw one out over the plate from Madison. He got all of it. Now the righty looks to respond as the number 2 hitter Blake Dunn shows to bunt, pulls back as it's a fastball low and away. Madison works quick, gets the sign from catcher Adam Hackenberg, fires another heater but spikes it in the dirt. So some action brewing on the first pitch of each half inning. McIntyre beamed in the leg in the top of the first. Then an absolute missile from Hayden Cantrell to start off the bottom of the first frame. Madison picks the arms up over the head, now sets and fires, swinging a pop-up foul right side out of play. So Madison with a solid fastball, also sits low to mid-90s, and will mix in, change up in a curveball at times as well. But Blake Dunn, the Western Michigan center fielder, first plate appearance tonight, so he pops one straight back out of play. Hyannis infield tonight from left to right. Jared DeSantolo, Nick Lofton, Jackson Olson, Brooks Carlson. As Madison, out of the windup, fires home. Breaking ball just a bit high. Full count to the number 2 man, Blake Dunn. And the same way in the outfield left to right. Hoffer, Bryce Teodosio, and Mitch McIntyre. Quick pause. Now Madison fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 1 of the 2019 summer for Tyler Madison as he puts an out on the board in the bottom of the first.
That's a great response right there after giving up the leadoff home run to Cantrell to come back with the center fielder Dunn and fan him on a fastball in the outside corner. Had him well behind it, mixed in a couple good breaking balls.
And then put that fastball right at the top of the zone, just overpowering the hitter Dunn for the first out of the inning. Now that transfers things to Austin Langworthy, set for his 3rd summer here in Falmouth. The righty Madison gazes in at the Florida Gator and comes home. First pitch off speed is down and away. So Langworthy knows the lay of the land here in Falmouth and now looks to put together one final monster summer. 1-0, cut into right field on a line. In comes McIntyre. He's got a beat and he makes the catch chest high. So 2 down, back-to-back outs recorded from Tyler Madison after the first pitch bomb. And he's starting to settle in here in the bottom of the first frame.
Nice play by McIntyre to come in on that ball. Kind of a sinking liner off the bat of Langworthy that time, but able to read it nicely off the bat and reel it in for out number 2.
Now that brings up Michael Turner, left-handed hitting cleanup man. He takes the first pitch fastball outside. So Madison just left that first pitch a little too far out over the plate to Cantrell, but since then, punched out Dunn. A piece of soft contact to Austin Langworthy. And the 0-1 offering. Fastball in. 2 balls, no strikes. The Kent State catcher, Michael Turner. Madison straight out of the windup, picks the arms above his head, now back to the belt, fires home. Gets a piece of it, fouling it straight back right under the legs of Adam Hackenberg. It'll be 2-1. To Turner, coming off a big season of his own at Kent State, put together an average just under 370, 42 RBIs as well. Now the 2-1 from Madison, off speed on the outer edge, and the count levels at 2-2. So nice breeze here at Gubb Fuller Field here in the bottom of the first. Sun starting to set behind us. Madison gets the sign and comes home. Broken bat, ground ball right back to the mound. Madison fields cleanly, cuts off some distance, and underhands it to Brooks Carlson at first, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first frame. Leadoff bomb to Hayden Cantrell, but a good response after that from Madison. Retires 3 in order, but not before the Commodores put one on the board. It's 1-0 Falmouth from Gubb Fuller Field. We'll be back for the top of the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Harbor Hawks as we take you back for the top of the 2nd inning. It'll be the FAU third baseman Jared DeSantolo digging in from the left side. Meanwhile, Carmen Majinski back out for inning number 2. He works from the third base side of the rubber and comes home. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone. DeSantolo expresses a little bodily displeasure with that call. Tilts his head back a little bit, but he gets right back into the box. Majinski works quickly and comes back with a changeup that misses down and away. So DeSantolo in his 2nd start of the summer. Played on opening night against the Chatham Anglers, where he picked up 1 hit to his name. The next offering, DeSantolo gets frozen with a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Back on Monday night, 1 for 4 with a double, was stranded at second. Couldn't get any further, and now in search of hit number 2. Next offering, line drive down the left field line, coming over Langworthy toward the line. It drops in front of him. DeSantolo hits the bag at first, takes a hard turn, and retreats right back to the bag. But a leadoff single for the FAU Owl to begin the top of the 2nd. As a man on board for the Harbor Hawks again to lead off an inning.
Well, a good start here to the 2nd inning for the Harbor Hawks there. Already halfway to surpassing their hit total from Wednesday. There's a nice piece of hitting from DeSantolo that time to go the other way and punch that one into left.
So now that'll transfer things to Brooks Carlson. He's in the number 6 spot, playing first base again for the Harbor Hawks tonight. He's gotten the start in all 3 games so far. Swings at the first pitch and pops it foul out of play. You talked about it, Brendan. With that DeSantolo base knock, they're already halfway to their total hit number from Wednesday night against Catuit. There was a Hunter Goodman double in the 5th. And aside from that, an Ian Fair single in the 7th, were the only hits the team could muster. Pitch to Carlson, ripped at the shortstop on a line, catch made by Cantrell, throw back to first in time, double play. So the Commodores catch a break on the defensive side as Cantrell snags a liner hit right his way, a quick snap throw back to first, and it doubles off the runner DeSantolo for a 6-3 double play.
Now batting, the catcher from Clemson University.
Well, that's just unlucky right there for Carlson. Hits that one on a rope, but right at Cantrell at shortstop. DeSantolo, not really much of a chance to scamper back.
Now they'll bring up Adam Hackenberg, who takes a first pitch strike. Adam, Clemson catcher, set to get his first start with Hyannis this summer. And the next pitch, dribbled down the third baseline, charging in. Moretto fields bare hand throw to first in time. Beautiful play by the third baseman Moretto, a barehanded snag right hugging the line at third, a snap throw across the diamond to first, and just in time to get Hackenberg by about a step. So Majinski faces the minimum in the top of the second. A leadoff base knock from Jared DeSantolo is erased with a double play and a ground out to third. We'll go to the bottom of the second when the Commodores are set to come to bat once again. We'll be right back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at Gov Fuller Field for the bottom of the second frame, Tyler Madison toes the slab for inning number 2 as he's set to face the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the Falmouth lineup as Sacramento State third baseman Steven Moretto makes his way into the right side of the box, pinwheels the bat around the zone a couple times, and now into his stance. First pitch out of the windup from Madison, breaking ball well out in front of home plate. A check swing from the hitter Moretto. Peel down to first, he does not go around. So Madison faced 4 in the first. That leadoff bomb to Hayden Cantrell out to right was followed by 3 straight outs, a strikeout, fly out, and ground out right back to the mound. Now the next offering, swinging a foul back. For Madison in his season at Bryant, he proved to be a mainstay in the starting rotation. A consistent piece out of the weekend slot. Counters with a breaking ball here, but it misses just in. 8 quality starts in 2019, and all of them came in the final 2 months of the season. So he really picked things up as he went in 2019. 2-1 fastball, high and away. Infield playing back with nobody down. None on. 1-0 Falmouth here in the bottom of the second. And the offering from Madison. Dribbler just behind the hitter, Moretto, and it comes back toward us along the third baseline. Three-two count. Madison already with 1 strikeout today, in search of a second. He gets the sign from Hackenberg, fires home, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for the right-hander Madison as he fans the leadoff man Moretto to begin the second.
And there's that mid-90s fastball again featured from Madison that time. Lyle, you talked about some quality starts at Bryant in this 2019 campaign, and it's that resilience that we've been seeing from him in this start alone. Gave up a leadoff home run on the first pitch of his outing tonight, and since 4 straight outs, 2 of them strikeouts.
So now that brings up Jake Frasca out of Sacred Heart. Right-handed hitting, designated hitter, takes the first pitch down. Now Frasca, like many of the players up in the Cape Cod League, not too unfamiliar with the northeastern part of the country. Madison's ready with the 1-0. Fastball right at the knees as the count evens. He spent last summer with the Danbury Westerners of the NECBL, the New England Collegiate League. We put together a .310 average with 2 bombs and 14 RBIs. So a productive summer there. Led him out to the elbow of Massachusetts in 2019. But he watches a breaking ball drop out and into the zone for strike 2. So a good curveball there from Madison. Froze the hitter Frasca. And now he's ahead at a 2-strike count. Kicks and deals the next offering. Line drive up the middle to his left, Nick Lofton. Fields it glove side, throw across in time. So good play from the new shortstop Lofton to put out number 2 on the board. And Tyler Madison has now recorded 5 straight outs since the leadoff home run.
Number 8, Austin Maisel.
I think he's really starting to settle in, Brendan.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he looks pretty comfortable on the mound right now, locating his fastball well.
So now, the third of 3 lefties in the lineup, Austin Maisel out of Holy Cross, as he watches the first pitch in the dirt. Now, Maisel spent some time here in Falmouth last summer. He saw himself get a handful of starts for head coach Jeff Trundy's squad early in the season. But he was later transferred elsewhere after just starting 3 for his first 21. A swing and a miss at the next offering, pulls his head on that one a bit. The count moves to 1-1. Maisel, however, has put together 3 very productive seasons at Holy Cross. 2 of the 3 years sporting averages over 300. Now a breaking ball, that's fouled back. So Madison really starting to find some pinpoint command here after that leadoff bomb. In fact, nobody's really squared one up against him since. A couple of ground balls as well as the line drive were weak contact off the bat from the Falmouth lineup as the fastball jackknives Maisel, and the count moves to 2-2. Brushed him off the plate a little bit. But he now digs back in, shakes the bat at the mound once, elbow straight back, and Madison fires home. Line drive right back up the middle and into center field. That's a base hit, and it gets past the center fielder Teodosio. Taking an extra base and sliding into second with ease will be Austin Maisel. So a single and an E8 recorded will put a man in scoring position for the Commodores in the bottom of the second frame.
Yeah, ending up at second on a good piece of hitting that time from Maisel. Reached out across the plate to drive that one into center field off the end of the bat. Just got enough to get it past the middle infielders Lofton and Olsen, and then Teodosio with a mishap in center field winds up giving Maisel a free base.
So now another returning Commodore, Alex Volpe, also out of Holy Cross. Stands from the right side, watches a fastball away. Well, Teodosio, that one just got under his glove a little bit. But I think it's fair to say, Brendan, we'll call that one a rarity. Teodosio is considered by most to be a plus defender. He's considered by most as well to be the strongest outfielder on the Clemson Ball Club. So that one just a bit of a mishap and an unusual one as well. Next pitch, ground ball to third. Snagged by DeSantolo, moving to his left, throws across the diamond in time. So damage limited by Tyler Madison after the 2-out single to Austin Maisel. Gets out of a semi-jam to put a 0 on the board in the bottom of the second. Through 2 innings, it's Falmouth 1, Hyannis nothing. We'll go to the top of the third when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Top of the third inning here from Gov Fuller Park. Hyannis trying to get the bats going in the top of the third inning. They find themselves trailing 1-0 in the ball game. It'll be 8-9 and 1 due up for the Harbor Hawks. Jackson Olsen, Bryce Teodosio, and Mitch McIntyre.
The second baseman from the University of
Second
Hartford,
baseman from
number
Hartford
9,
set to go, digging into the left-handed batter's box against the starter Cameron Majinski, who's been rolling along pretty well here so far in his outing tonight. Fires in a fastball knee high to start off the inning, 0-1. Majinski working from the windup. The 0-1 pitch, a changeup into the dirt, swung on and missed by Olsen. Looked a bit off balance on that swing, finds himself in a hole, 0-2. Jackson so far on the summer, 3 for 8, with a couple RBIs. As an 0-2 curveball misses just wide, 1-2. Appeared in 55 games for Hartford this season in 2019. Starting 53 as he waves and misses at an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. And Olsen is set down for out number 1 of the third.
Yeah, Majinski has a good fastball working. That one almost looked like it had a little bit of arm side run to it as it got Olsen just kind of waving at it. But Majinski really starting to settle in as well, giving up that base hit in the second to DeSantolo. But since then, some pretty crisp command.
So in steps the Clemson center fielder Bryce Teodosio as he looks at a first pitch fastball in the inside corner for a strike 1. Bryce trying to make up for the mishap in center field with the bat. Didn't come back to bite the Harbor Hawks, but you know it's eating away at him. 0-1, wave and a miss. Majinski with a lively fastball there for strike 2 against Teodosio. BYU product Mitch McIntyre awaits on deck. One away, top of the third inning from Gov Fuller Park, the 0-2. Breaking ball. Teodosio thought about going after it, decided against it as it tailed into the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Bryce steps back in, taps the plate a couple times, awaits the next pitch. Here it is, a fastball in there. Strike 3, ring him up on the outside corner. Painting the black with a fastball was Majinski. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the third.
Yeah, I don't think Teodosio liked the call too much about that one. I think he mouthed as he walked back to the dugout, that was low. He has a case, but not according to home plate umpire Rudy Firmback, who rung him up on the fastball that he saw right at the knee high.
Yeah, you asked for consistency from umpires, and so far Rudy's been consistent back there. As Mitch McIntyre in for his second look at Majinski. Takes a fastball into the dirt, low and away that time for ball 1. Was plunked in his first plate appearance and was stranded out at second base. Trying to get some licks in here in his second time around as he looks at a strike on the outside corner again. Looking back at the spot where Turner held his glove. Count draws even at 1-1. Majinski working quickly. Here's the next offering. Breaking ball, same spot, same result, strike 2. So the starter Majinski looking to make quick work of the Harbor Hawks here in the third. With his team out in front, 1-0. The 1-2 offering. Breaking ball in the dirt couldn't entice McIntyre to go after it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harbor Hawks just 1 hit so far in the ball game. It was a single off the bat of Jared DeSantolo in the second. Majinski's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Retires the side on strikes. 3 up and 3 down for the Harbor Hawks in the third. 1-0. The Commodores still out in front as we head to the bottom of the third with Falmouth coming back to the plate on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis righty Tyler Madison back to the mound for his half of the third inning. 1-0, the Falmouth Commodores in front. 9-1-2 due up in the Falmouth lineup. Chris Rinaldi, Hayden Cantrell, and Blake Dunn. Lyle, both starters after the leadoff home run by Hayden Cantrell really settling into a groove. First pitch of the inning is taken low, just below the knees, ball one.
But yeah, they absolutely have. And we just saw what Carmen Majinski did in his half of the third as he struck out the side in an overpowering fashion as well. But Madison fighting his way back well as well.
1-0 crack to first. Carlson fields it on a hop. He'll take it to the bag himself, and easy out number one.
Yeah, just an easy piece of contact on the ground to the right side, an easy play for Carlson. But yeah, it's going back to Madison, Brendan. That leadoff home run occurred. Since then, giving up just the one hit. Has now retired 7 of his last 8 batters, so pretty much all you could ask for in response after that leadoff home run.
Well, here is the man that is responsible for the 1-0 Falmouth advantage. Hayden Cantrell stepping into the left-handed batter's box, swings at the first pitch yet again and pops it up on the left side in foul territory. Racing after it was DeSantelo as well as Trevor Hauver converging from left field, but neither man could make the play as it fell harmlessly. Count moved to 0-1 against Cantrell.
And Hayden Cantrell back in his second season in Falmouth, but quickly here in 2019, I think we're already kind of starting to get a little bit of a scouting report on him. That's back-to-back at-bats. He's chased after the first pitch fastball, giving pretty healthy hacks at both of them as well.
Here comes the 0-1, a big looping breaking ball that stays too far off the outer edge of the plate. Evens up the count 1-1. Cantrell, a tick above 300 in his season at Louisiana Lafayette at 301. 1-1 fastball again, sent down the right field line, foul over toward the Falmouth bullpen. So 1-2 here to the left-handed hitting shortstop. Swings the bat around a couple times, has it over the left shoulder, kicks and deals as Madison a breaking ball into the dirt, blocked by Hackenberg behind the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the third. Madison, glove in front of the face, a deep breath, working from the windup again, swing and a miss over the top of a changeup that time as Cantrell goes down on strikes. So nice job from Madison, keeping the leadoff hitter Cantrell off balance that time, and that'll bring up Blake Dunn.
And now that third strikeout for Madison gets him swinging there at a changeup. And mostly a 3-pitch guy, Brendan, and you're starting to see it. He's got a good fastball, and we've seen that on display already today, but starting to mix up his off-speed pretty nicely as well.
A good mix of pitches for sure as the Western Michigan center fielder Blake Dunn watches the first pitch fastball knee high. 0-1 the count. Dunn 0 for 1 tonight, a strikeout victim back in the first. 0-1 breaking ball, tap foul up in front of the plate, deflecting off the left knee of Dunn. So 0-2, and Madison trying to set down the side in order. Stares down at his battery mate Hackenberg. The 0-2 fastball is foul tipped off the glove and trickles toward the backstop. Dunn fighting off that lively upstairs fastball we talked about, Lyle, to stay alive.
Yeah, and he tried to place it up there again, but Dunn just got a piece of it.
So the next 0-2 from Madison, another high fastball, try to entice him again, could not that time, 1-2.
And those are always good pitches to waste, especially when you're ahead 0-2. Nobody on, 2 outs. Now we'll see if he throws something a little softer in counter.
And there it is, that breaking ball dropped in on the inner half for strike 3, froze Dunn at the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts and Madison's half of the third inning. The Commodores go down in order, but they still are in front on the scoreboard. They lead at 1-0. Harbor Hawks coming back to the plate, trying to get something going against Majinski when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The Harbor Hawks bats have been silent so far as they come to the plate here in the top of the fourth, trailing things from Gov Fuller Field 1-0. 2, 3, and 4 in the Hyannis lineup due up. Nick Lofton, Trevor Hauber, and Hunter Goodman.
University, number 11, Nick Lofton.
Lofton digging into that right-handed batter's box. The shortstop from Baylor. Watches a breaking ball on the inner half. A called strike at the letters. 0 for 1, a strikeout back in the first form. Harbor Hawks trying to crack this code of the starter Majinski, who has been awfully impressive early, as this one is chopped down the third base line, but foul. Both starters throwing the ball extremely well in their starts tonight. A briskly played ball game early on. The 0-2 pitch to Lofton goes after a high fastball and lofts it into foul territory up and over the backstop out of play as it clanks off the top of the press box here at Gov Fuller Field. So getting a piece to stay alive is Nick. Taps the plate a couple times. Stares back out at Majinski, who kicks and deals an 0-2. A chopper back up the middle toward the shortstop. Cantrell ranges to his left. A high throw, but the tag is in time to get him. So Nick Lofton trying to elude the tag of the first baseman Volpe off the high throw from Cantrell. Could not. And that's how the fourth inning gets underway.
Well, Lofton's got some good speed. He moved down that line pretty quickly, given a hard 90 as a coach would call it. When you do that, that forces sometimes an errant throw of an infielder. Of course, it forces the infielders to rush. That's what happened to Cantrell there, but a nice job by Volpe to get off the bag and apply the tag in time.
So his first baseman bailing him out on that play. Here's the Sun Devil, Trevor Hauber, as he watches a fastball off the outer part of the plate for ball 1. Trevor 0 for 1 in the ball game. Lofted one to left field and was retired by Langworthy. The 1-0. Another fastball. Couldn't pick up the outside black. 2-0. Trevor adjusting those batting gloves as the sun continues to shine here at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Mass. The 2-0. Another fastball. That went in on the outside corner as Trevor Hauber expressing his displeasure with that last call. Majinski's 2-1 on the way. Cracked in the air to deep center field, sending Dunn back a couple of steps, and he will make the catch as he retreats toward the warning track. 2 gone for Hunter Goodman.
Well, he put some good wood on it. Solid line drive out to center. It forced the center fielder Goodman, or make that Dunn, to shift his shoulders a couple of times. But eventually came down with the ball. With 2 down, we'll see what Goodman can come up with.
So here is Hunter Goodman. The DH from Memphis has been featured in all 3 games for the Harbor Hawks this season so far. First pitch, a breaking ball just below the knees. Ball 1. Hunter, one of the 5 strikeout victims so far in this game for Majinski. 1-0 fastball, tapped at the plate off the leg pad of the catcher Turner. Count draws even a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Again, another breaking ball sent straight back into the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A strand of 7 in a row dating back to the second inning have been retired by Majinski. Looking for an 8th here as Goodman swings and misses at a curveball into the dirt. Turner up to get it, fires down to first. A wide throw, but corralled by Volpe at first, and that retires the side. So ring up another strikeout on the board for Majinski as he heads back to the dugout, still holding a 1-0 lead with his Commodores coming to the plate in the bottom of the 4th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Red Shirt Friday. be doing a special second t-shirt launch.
Bottom of the fourth inning here from Gov Fuller Field. A 1-0 ball game. The Falmouth Commodores are out in front. They're coming back to the plate. When starter Tyler Madison still cruising on the mound, coming off back-to-back strikeouts in the latter half of the third inning. Austin Langworthy, Michael Turner, and Stephen Moretto are due up in this half of the inning.
University of Florida, number 26,
Florida Gator Austin Langworthy playing left field tonight. Steps into the left-handed batter's box as he watches a curveball spiked into the ground from Madison, 1-0. Both starters working very quickly in their outings tonight as Madison set to go again. Another breaking ball off the plate, 2-0. Langworthy rings the bat around a couple times, awaits the 2-0 pitch. A fastball, a big wave and a miss, letter high. Good comeback pitch from Madison to make it 2-1. Madison set to go. The 2-1 pitch, a breaking ball way over the top of it. Good time to pull the string on Langworthy as it trickles to the backstop. Past the glove of Hackenberg, evens the count 2-2.
And that had some real break on it. I mean, most of Madison's breaking balls have been with a little more speed, but that one just kind of fell right off the table.
A big loop to that breaking ball. 4 strikeouts in the game for Madison. Looking for a 5th here. He doesn't get it as it's sent out of play, foul off to the left.
And we'll see how he responds here. I mean, the breaking ball coming back with the fastball. Langworthy was way late on the heater, so clearly Madison's in a rhythm right now.
And then the next 2-2, a breaking ball. Tried to sneak one back door, could not. Count runs full. Langworthy hit .283 in 2019 for the Florida Gators. Had 63 hits. 10 of those long balls.
I like this guy. Have faith, ladies.
The payoff pitch from Madison on the way. A broken back grounder towards short, picked up by Lofton. He'll fire to first. A low throw, but picked nicely at first by Carlson. And there's one down.
Well, a quick field and transfer from the shortstop. Lofton had to move quickly to his left. Fielded it behind the bag at second. Got it out of his glove quickly. But how about the pick on the other end from Brooks Carlson? I mean, that was one of those in-between hops that about makes it as tough as it gets for a first baseman. But did it with ease right there.
And a nice stretch as well. In order to corral that one as a fastball was pumped in on the outside corner as Michael Turner stands in from Kent State, the catcher. Sporting the high socks and the navy blue ankle guard is a big swing and a miss as dropping down to a knee was Turner. Try and go after that curveball from Madison, 0-2. Madison shakes off a couple signs from Hackenberg, now gets one. Looking for strikeout number 5, doesn't get it with a low fastball at about shin level. 1-2 as Stephen Moretto awaits on deck. Into the wind is Madison, the 1-2. Breaking ball. Down by the ankles. Turner tapping the plate a couple times, a 2-2 count now. Madison kicks and delivers. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. As Hackenberg fires down to third, the 5th strikeout of the game for Madison. Here comes Stephen Moretto.
And he is really dialed in. I mean, when you look at the box score, outside of one pitch, Madison's going toe for toe with Majinski at this point. He's got 5 strikeouts to Majinski's 6. And outside that one run, he's been absolutely on fire.
So the rising junior at Sacramento State steps into the right-handed batter's box as he watches a fastball down and away for a ball. I beg your pardon, a called strike, 0-1. Picked up the outside corner. Kicks and deals. An 0-1 fastball is skied in the air on the right side. Drifting over toward the Falmouth dugout is the first baseman Carlson, but he'll have no play as he runs out of room. As he goes crashing into the net, protecting some of that foul territory down by the bleachers. So the count moves to 0-2 on the 6-1 third baseman. Madison's ready, kicks and fires. Breaking ball into the dirt, stopped by Hackenberg, nicely scampering to his right. Moretto also went down by way of the K back in the second inning. That was to lead off that frame. Madison shrugs the shoulders, a deep breath, the 1-2 pitch, a high fastball, 2-2. Commodores just 2 hits to the Harbor Hawks 1, but one of those was a long ball courtesy of Hayden Cantrell. Has them out in front 1-0 as this breaking ball up high. Couldn't catch the outside part of the zone was Madison as the count swells to 3-2 on Moretto. Gets the sign from Hackenberg. The payoff pitch, fastball, wave, and a miss again. Strike 3 as Madison is absolutely cruising along. 6 Ks in the ball game. And limiting the Commodores' bats once again. Top of the 5th. Coming up when the Harbor Hawks come to the plate trying to get the bats going on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
The Florida Atlantic Owl, Jared DeSantolo, set to come to the plate for his second at-bat of the evening as we bring you back in the top of the 5th from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. DeSantolo today, single to left in his one at-bat so far. To this point, that's been the only Harbor Hawk hit off the right-hander Majinski. Fires a first pitch fastball out of the windup, good for a strike.
Florida Atlantic University, number 1, Jared DeSantolo.
DeSantolo in his second start. He's got that short stance, the bat resting on his shoulder as he watches a fastball in the dirt. Sun starting to set here in Falmouth as the next offering is fouled back on the ground. Sun all the way behind us now and down below the trees. So we're not even at the 1 hour mark of this game. 6 o'clock start, we're already in the top of the 5th. This game is rolling. That's what will happen when you're in the middle of a pitcher's duel. 2-1. Misses down with a changeup.
Now you mentioned it, Lyle. The quick pace of this game, both starters racking up the strikeouts in bunches, both of them with 6 to their names thus far.
Now the right-hander gets his sign and fires home. And it hits the outside corner for strike 2. So DeSantolo in the lineup, the left-handed bat against the right-handed hitter. And oftentimes that would happen during his school season as well. 298 average for the year, but just 28 starts as they'd usually platoon him against right-handed arms. Another full count offering, breaking ball in the dirt. DeSantolo reaches base for the second time tonight as he draws a leadoff walk to begin the top of the 5th.
Well, with base runners hard to come by tonight, that's one way to get the inning started. A walk, good patience being shown by DeSantolo. A couple of close pitches that I'm sure probably could have been called strikes. A good patience from the Harbor Hawk third baseman that sets the table now for Brooks Carlson.
So Carlson fresh off that frozen rope at the shortstop Cantrell that turned into the 6-3 double play. Sees a first pitch fastball inside. So 0 for 1 today for Brooks, still in search of his first hit of the summer. But they're going to start to come. He went 0 for in his first night against the Chatham Anglers, but had a hard hit ball on Wednesday against Catuit and already a hard hit ball this evening. Next offering, ripped down the right field line. That's going to hook foul toward the bullpen. And sometimes players just get themselves into a little bit of those unfortunate streaks that you can't do much about it. It feels like you're piecing up everything and hitting it right on the button. Just doesn't seem to find grasp. But eventually, when you're hitting it that hard, that consistently, you're going to start to rack up some hits. And more likely than not, that's the case for Carlson here. Of course, we're just in the third game of the season. But he takes a fastball inside, and it's 2-1. And like we've talked about, Brooks Carlson hits and hits a lot. In his past season, at Samford University, he sported a .345 clip, 78 hits to his name in 2019. 2-1 from Majinski. Breaking ball hits the hitter Carlson right on the shoulder, and he'll draw a hit by pitch. So how about that? For the first time tonight, the Harbor Hawks have back-to-back runners reach base.
And second time, courtesy of a hit by pitch. First time, it was Mitch McIntyre to lead off the ball game, and now Brooks Carlson is on with the free pass. Back-to-back to start the fifth inning, given up by Majinski. We'll see what Adam Hackenberg can do here. A good opportunity now for the Harbor Hawks to try and come back and tie or take the lead here.
So now time's going to be called for a mound conference with the Falmouth pitching coach as the catcher Turner makes his way out to the bump as well. So when the meeting adjourns, it'll be Adam Hackenberg, the Clemson catcher who just finished up his freshman year down in Clemson. Except for his second at-bat of the summer. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out to third. But on that ground out, it was a pretty remarkable play by the third baseman Moretto, who had to charge in pretty quick, make a barehanded snag and throw, but he did so successfully. But now everything concludes. Infielders back to their respective positions, although none of them came fully into the mound. Turner trots back behind the plate. Hackenberg into the box. We're just about set to go. The first baseman, Alex Volpe, in on the grass on the infield, playing Hackenberg to bunt with men on first and second, nobody down. So out of the stretch is Majinski, first pitch, fastball low. Hackenberg appeared in just 18 games as a freshman, 9 of those coming from starts. He's got a solid base, shoulder width apart with his feet. He's brushed off the plate a little bit with a fastball, and it's 2-0. Hackenberg, a highly touted kid out of high school, selected in the 38th round of the 2018 draft by the Royals. Was named the Virginia Player of the Year as a senior in high school. 2-0, big hack and a miss. Hackenberg went after a fastball from Majinski, but got nothing of it. 1-0 Falmouth in the top of the fifth. DeSantolo, the runner, at second. Carlson at first after the hit by pitch. And now the offering. Fouled back on the ground. So Hackenberg just gets one off the end of the bat there. Now the count runs to 2-2. A calm, brisk evening here at Gov Fuller. Falmouth side of the crowd. About 3/4 full on the bleachers and fans scattered out on lawn chairs on the first base grass hill just behind the Falmouth dugout. Majinski called a quick time to step off the mound and reset. Now he's back on from the stretch, right arm dangling down, glove tucked into his left shoulder, and now time's called again. Hackenberg wants a second out of the box.
A lot of options here for both teams now. We've seen a couple of opponents that the Harbor Hawks have hosted back in McKeon Park play some small ball. So perhaps the Harbor Hawks.
2-2, ripped into left center. That's falling quickly over Langworthy. It drops in front of him. Tearing around third, Jared DeSantolo. In comes the throw. It's cut off, and sliding in safely is DeSantolo from second. It's an RBI single from Adam Hackenberg, and the Clemson Tiger ties the game at 1 apiece in the top of the fifth.
Well, there it is. You knew the Harbor Hawks are going to break through at some point. This time it's Adam Hackenberg The catcher coming through from Clemson that time, scoring up a nice fastball in the inner half of the plate, dumping it into left center field for the RBI single, scoring DeSantolo.
So just the second hit of the day, but it plates the first Harbor Hawk run. Carlson moved up to second on the play. So Jackson Olsen finds himself in pretty much a mirrored scenario. 2 on with nobody out. On the first pitch, fastball just high. Turner tried to frame it and bring it back down into the zone, but not quite successfully. As now both corner infielders playing in. Olsen with a little more speed than Hackenberg and from the left side as well, so maybe a little more prone to bunt. First offering, he drops that bunt, but pulls back as that fastball misses away. To put the bat out in front of the plate, but pulled back just in time. So that's Moretto at third, playing about a step in front of the bag, step behind the grass. And the first baseman, Alex Volpe, 2 feet on the lip of the infield grass. 2-0 offering. Swinging a foul back off the screen. So Jackson Olsen, a contact hitter, but can hit for a high average, also plays with a solid glove. Pinwheels the bat around the zone once. Now Majinski with the 2-1. Drops the bunt and squares it up. Couldn't pull it back in time, but got nothing of it. It's 2-2. Sun continuing to set in Falmouth. 2 hits for each team, 1 run for each team. And the offering. On the outside corner, strike 3. Olsen can't believe it. Thought he saw that one away, but gets rung up on a breaking ball on the outer half. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
That's been a wide strike zone all night on the outer part of the plate for lefties, and on the inside part of the plate for righties has been a bit tough as well. So that left side of the plate has been favorable for home plate umpire Rudy Fernbach.
So now time's going to be called again. And likely that will be the end of Majinski's night. As we get a signal to the bullpen, as the right-hander's night will conclude after 4 1/3 innings pitched, but performed admirably to say the least. First start in 3.5 months, and he goes 4 1/3, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts. We'll have a new arm on the mound for the Commodores when we return on the other side of the break. Things knotted up at 1-1 here at Gov Fuller Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we continue from Gov Fuller Field in the top of the 5th, things are knotted up at 1-1 here between the Commodores and the Harbor Hawks. After 4 1/3 strong innings from Cameron Majinski, head coach Jeff Trundy opts to go to the bullpen for the first time tonight, signaling in the right-hander Aiden Maldonado out of the University of Illinois. He comes in to try and attempt and clean up some of Majinski's work as he inherits 2 runners on base with 1 out. Bryce Teodosio out of Clemson, the hitter. Righty checks the runners and deals the first pitch. The righty Teodosio nubs one foul just over the Commodores' dugout. So Teodosio cracks that bat. On that foul tip, he's going to have to go grab a new one. You know, Brendan, that happened to him night 1 as well.
Yeah, it did, and I'm sure he's getting a little bit frustrated. Not used to these wooden bats, or a lot of these players. It's playing with those aluminum ones in their college season, so adjusting to swinging that hardwood.
So as Teodosio grabs a new bat, goes from the maple brown to the all black. For Maldonado, his first appearance on Cape Cod this summer. And his time at Illinois in 2019. 26 innings, 30 walks to 20 strikeouts, and an ERA just over 6.5. So the rising sophomore looks to maybe clean up the command a little bit here on Cape Cod. The Teodosio in an 0-1 count. Out of the stretch, he fires home. Fastball in the dirt, gets through the wickets of the catcher Turner, and each runner's move up a bag. Carlson up to third, Hackenberg down to second. And just like that, Teodosio has 2 ducks on the pond, both in scoring position, and the count will move to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, that makes Teodosio's job a little bit easier because any contact should indeed perhaps score a run. A sac fly will do the trick. A base hit will do the trick.
Well, the first baseman Volpe still in with the bag, but a ground ball pretty much anywhere on the right side to Volpe's right, as well as a sac fly like you mentioned. It'll do the job. Pitch to Teodosio, wave and a miss. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Teodosio in his second start of the summer, also in search of his first Cape League hit. Maldonado shakes his head twice, now once. Gets the sign he likes and sets right at the chest. Fires home the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Glove by the catcher Turner as he smothers it. The count will level. One down with 2 on. Teodosio, the number 9 man in the lineup. Wind settled down a little bit here at Gov Fuller. And the sun continuing to set behind us. But as this game has moved ever so quickly, there might be sunshine out for the majority of this contest. Out of the stretch, the 2-2. Fastball in the dirt. Picked on the backhand by Turner. And Teodosio finds himself in a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So again, 30 walks in 26 innings pitched in his freshman year at Illinois. And so far here, he's had a little bit of errant command to the man Teodosio. Next offering's fouled off his foot, and he'll stay alive.
Great at bat being put up here by Bryce, fouling off a couple of tough pitches, as well as showing some nice patience at the plate. Watching a couple breaking balls down and away in this at bat.
So Majinski just 1 earned run to his name. However, his line is still open with Carlson at third, Hackenberg at second. Both those runners his responsibility. 3-2 with 1 out. Full count pitch. Popped foul long down the right field line, hooking out of play just by the light pole. The Teodosio will step out, puts the right hand to the top of his helmet, and taps the plate twice. 1-1 here in Falmouth. Leadoff home run for the Commodores in the bottom of the first, and then the Hackenberg single before the pitching change. 3-2 in the dirt, ball 4. Teodosio flips the bat backwards toward the dugout, gives a sprint halfway down the line, now jog the rest of the way over to first. And that loads the bases for the top of the lineup and Mitch McIntyre.
Yeah,
Now batting,
yeah, with the bases loaded here, this is really the first real threat of the season that the Harbor Hawks have mounted against any of their opponents, who just won out in the inning, and top of the order coming up could bust through for a big inning here.
So now McIntyre with a bases loaded opportunity. 0 for 1 today with a hit by pitch. And the first offering. Outside corner, strike one on a heater. Nick Lofton waiting on deck. Hover behind him. So Hyannis with the right part of the order at the plate. 0-1. Fouled back, and quickly McIntyre behind. So Mitch, much like the number 3 hitter in the lineup tonight, Trevor Hover, also in his second stint with the Harbor Hawks, but his lasted just a little bit shorter. He's here for the final week of the season as well as postseason play. So an inning on the mound in the regular season, but is more of a bat than he is an arm. 0-2. In the dirt. No advancement from any of the runners. And McIntyre will step out and put his left hand to the top of his helmet. So the bases loaded, runners getting their lead. Now the offering. Ground ball through the right side. Now fielded by the second baseman. Throws to first just in time. So Rinaldi with a nice move to his left stops it just before the ball could skip by him into right field. But as a result, it scores a run on an RBI ground out from Mitch McIntyre.
now batting, the
Ground ball to the right
shortstop,
side. That's what you want from McIntyre that time. Couldn't punch it through to the outfield, though. As you mentioned, Lyle, a great play from Rinaldi ranging to his left and a flip to first for the out to at least get one. 2 runners in scoring position still.
A very productive out for the leadoff man, McIntyre. So it gives the Harbor Hawks the 2-1 lead. Now 2 down, 2 in scoring position for Lofton. First pitch, fastball gets away from Turner. Coming home as Adam Hackenberg steps on the plate with ease. And just like that, it's 3-1 Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks catch a break on a wild pitch from Aiden Maldonado. As Hackenberg scores, Theodosio moves up to third. And Lofton now has a chance to further extend the lead.
Well, control's been a bit of an issue for Maldonado thus far as he walked Theodosio and now stands 90 feet away, and that one spiked into the dirt. There's another run crossing the plate.
Now the offering, Lofton drives one into left center. But patrolling under it, Austin Langworthy in and to his left, and he puts it away. So a good inning for the Harbor Hawks. 3 on the board as they take their first lead of the night. Through 4.5, it's Hyannis 3, Falmouth 1. And we'll be back for the bottom of the 5th frame when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Did you know all number 9?
Falmouth sends up their 6, 7, 8 to the plate in the bottom of the 5th as Tyler Madison's back on the mound for the Harbor Hawks and now finding himself with a little bit of a cushion. 3-1 lead for Hyannis as his first pitch is spiked in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Frasca 0 for 1 today, grounded out to short back in the top, or the bottom of the second, rather. Madison flings the arms above his head, now fires home. Called strike right at the knees. But in that top of the fifth, Hyannis plated 3 runs as a result of just 1 hit. And now Madison ready out of the windup, drops a breaking ball, but out in front of home plate, it's 2-1. The only hit came on the RBI single out to left center from Adam Hackenberg. Otherwise, Hackenberg himself scored on a wild pitch. And another run, Brooks Carlson scored on an RBI ground out. Now the next pitch on the ground to the first baseman Carlson, fields it himself, takes it to the bag, and steps on the pillow, 1 down.
Madison's been absolutely cruising in his start tonight. Just 1 run on 2 hits. The home runs after that, it's been nothing to speak of for the bats of the Commodores so far. The only undefeated team remaining in the Cape Cod Baseball League coming into action tonight, but Madison shut them down and with really just only a couple blips on the radar.
He's now retired 8 straight as his first pitch to Austin Maisel is bunted way up into the air and gets off the top of the screen behind home plate. And, a lot of that for Madison. It's probably due credit to some of the strength that he endured over the offseason, as his next offering in the dirt just gets to the left of Hackenberg. But in his freshman year, he came in at 217 pounds. Now he stands almost 20 pounds heavier at 235, but that's almost 20 pounds of positive muscle that he put on. Added strength, added velocity, as Maisel swings over the top of a changeup to put it at 1-2.
Nasty breaking pitch that time, spun off by Madison. That one started about belt high, and then by the time it crossed the plate, dropped to the ankles. No chance for Maisel on that one.
So 1-2 with 1 out, 3-1 Hyannis lead. The offering, fastball upstairs, pushes the hitter Maisel off the plate just a bit. But for Madison, had a solid year with a 3.4 ERA, but was just more crisp in 2019 as that pitch is on the ground on a rocket to second, backhanded by Olsen, an easy throw over to first. And just like that, 2 away. 9 in a row for Tyler Madison. Has not let a runner reach base since there were 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
From College of the Holy Cross, number 36, Alex Volpe.
So now it'll be Alex Volpe for his second at bat. Madison works from the first base side, kicks and delivers. Hard breaking ball on the inner half for strike 1. Now Tyler works quickly. Deals the next pitch. Pop up on the infield. In comes DeSantolo, calls everybody off and makes the grab running to his left. 1, 2, 3 for Tyler Madison. 10 straight retired for the Bryant right-hander. He's through 5 innings of work, and Hyannis has a 3-1 lead over Falmouth. We'll go to the 6th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
University, number
Top of the
10,
sixth at Gov
Trevor
Fuller
Howard.
Field. It's the Harbor Hawks 3 and the Commodores 1. And the heart of the order is due up for the Hawks. Trevor Hauver, followed by Hunter Goodman and Jared DeSantolo against Aiden Maldonado back on the mound. So the right-hander fires the first pitch out of the windup to Hauver. It's a fastball down and in for ball one. Now, you and I were just talking about it, Brendan, off the air, but as Hauver was coming up to the plate and taking his swings in the box before the start of the inning, the next pitch is inside again for ball two. Hauver uses a weight on his bat as he takes some swings, as a lot of players like to, and as he's warming up, he straight up just broke it in half. Half of it just flew out down the first baseline as the count moves to 3-0 on a fastball high. But how often do you see that? A donut or a weighted bat or a bat weight, whatever you want to call it, just breaks right in half like that.
Yeah, usually they're made of pretty sturdy plastic or some sand in there, but
as a result, Hauver doesn't even need to swing the bat here. Draws a 4-pitch walk as that fastball misses high and away. He sets it right at home plate and jogs down to first base.
Now batting, the designated hitter from the University of Memphis.
So Maldonado continuing to struggle with command just a little bit. 4-pitch walk to Hauver to lead off the sixth. Now to bring up Memphis designated hitter Hunter Goodman. Maldonado out of the stretch, peeking at Trevor Hauver at first. Now comes home. First pitch fastball at the letters for strike one.
just taking a quick peek down to the Hyannis dugout. Some players still laughing about it. Just not something you see very often.
And now the next offering. Fastball misses way outside. You're absolutely right. A rare commodity for sure, but Trevor's a pretty lighthearted kid. I'm sure he's not sweating it.
No, not at all. And as he walked to the plate before his at bat, had a quick laugh with the home plate umpire as well, who saw it.
So 1-1 the count to Goodman. Hauver a short lead at first. Now comes home, swinging a high drive, deep left center. Back goes Langworthy at the track, and that ball's history. 2-run blast for Hunter Goodman, his first of the summer. And Hyannis extends the lead. It's 5-1 Harbor Hawks in the top of the sixth.
Well, we talked about it early on in the game, while off the air as well, before coming on the air today as well. The hits were going to start to come for the Harbor Hawks eventually, and this offense was going to turn it around. And that time, Hunter Goodman turned an inside fastball and sent it into orbit over the left center field fence. No chance for Langworthy and Dunn, who both gave it a look out there, but Goodman launches that one over the fence and extending the lead out to 4 now for Hyannis, giving Madison even more of a cushion.
So first Hunter Goodman blast of the summer, first Harbor Hawk home run of the summer, as Jared DeSantolo sees a fastball down at the shoestrings for ball one. So Maldonado back out of the windup, delivers the next offering. That's a heater that misses away. Going all the way back to game one, Brendan. Between 4 scoreless innings tonight out of Hyannis. 9 on Wednesday as DeSantolo spoils one foul on the left side. And then looking at Monday's game against Chatham, where they lost 5-4 in 10 innings. They had gone 16 straight innings until the top of the 5th without a run. But in the last 2 frames, 3 and 2, as they put up 5 on the first place Commodores here in Falmouth. And the bats, like you said, finally starting to come alive. DeSantolo fouls one straight back off the screen, and the count will move to 2 balls and a strike, or make that 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And to your point, dating back with this Hyannis offense, waiting until the 5th to score their first runs of the ball game. You know, we talked about it sometimes coming on the road in the Cape Cod League and even in leagues around the country can get these guys going. And just a change of scenery is sometimes all it takes. And maybe they're seeing the ball well tonight in Falmouth.
2-2 to DeSantolo. Broken bat on the ground, or in the air and up the middle for a base hit. Bounces right over second base. Neither Cantrell or Rinaldi could get quite to it as it splits the defenders, trickles into center field. And Jared DeSantolo picks up his second hit of the night.
Now batting, the first baseman from Stanford University.
So 3 straight base runners reach for Hyannis in the top of the 6th. That's the 3rd time DeSantolo's been aboard tonight.
And some action down there on the Falmouth bullpen, and this might be it for Maldonado on the hill.
And it looks like that will be it. They come to take the ball up to the bullpen. as it'll be Ben Kasparius coming in to relieve Maldonado of his duties on the other side of the break. But so far in the sixth, Trevor Hauver walk, Hunter Goodman 2-run bomb, and a Jared DeSantolo single has the Hyannis out at a 5-1 advantage here at Gov Fuller Field. We'll be back in just a minute when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we're set to continue the top of the sixth from Gov Fuller Field. With one on and nobody down, it'll be Brooks Carlson stepping to the plate against New Falmouth right-hander Ben Kasparius, who just finished his sophomore year up at the University of North Carolina. In his 2019 campaign in Chapel Hill, he had 12 appearances, 16 in the third innings pitched, a 4.41 ERA, 7 walks to 14 strikeouts. So in steps Carlson, takes the first pitch down low, gets away from the catcher Turner, moving up to second, no problem, is Jared DeSantolo, and with a wild pitch, Hyannis has another runner in scoring position. So Turner grabs the mask, reapplies it over his face as Carlson kicks some dirt outside the box, now digs back in as he taps the plate a couple of times. Checking the runner at second, Kasparius now fires home. Carlson swings over the top of a breaking ball. So Carlson today hit a rocket at short at Cantrell that resulted in that double play. Otherwise has been hit by a pitch and scored, that coming just an inning ago in the fifth. And now the 1-1. Cut and a miss at a fastball high up at about the neck level. And Carlson falls behind a ball and 2 strikes. Now something to watch, Brendan, is while the Harbor Hawks have been putting on a show offensively over the last 2 innings, specifically here in the 6th inning with Madison getting a lot of downtime. We'll see what Chad Gassman opts to do, if they intend to bring him out for the 6th or not. He's had 5 strong innings, retired the last 10 batters he's faced. But Hyannis does have some action looming in the bullpen. Meanwhile, 1-2 to Carlson with DeSantolo getting a lead at second, no hold. And the offering. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets through the catcher Turner, and just like that, DeSantolo moves up to third. Trips a little bit as he rounded the bag and gave a couple of feet home, but makes it back to third base no problem, as Chad Gassman, as well as Falmouth third baseman Steven Moretto, giving a little bit of a laugh. DeSantolo wholehearted about it as well. But now a Hyannis run, 90 feet away, and Carlson finds himself with a 2-2 count. The infield now bringing itself in. They're going to opt to try to cut off DeSantolo from scoring and limit the damage right at a 4-run deficit where we stand. Carlson calls time to step out of the box, but it's 5-1 Harbor Hawks in the top of the 6th. They were down 1-0 through 4 frames on the Hayden Cantrell solo shot. The 3 runs in the 5th, 2 so far in the 6th. Pitch to Carlson, breaking ball away. He's got a full count at 3-2. Gets the sign and comes home. Carlson pops it up first base side, and it hooks foul over the grandstands.
And Lyle, just real quick, touching upon your point of Madison getting a lot of leisure time in the dugout right now, it's going to be a tough decision for Gassman to see how long he lets them to go in this game.
Now the 3-2. Carlson fouls it back. But yeah, it's absolutely like you were saying, Brendan, because one thing Chad Gassman, Hyannis manager, has to keep in mind, it's very, very early in the summer, and Madison has looked nothing short of flawless ever since, well, about the end of the 2nd inning. But having said that, you got to keep in mind his longevity and what their plan is for him for the remainder of the summer. So we'll see what he opts to do when the bottom of the 6th rolls around. Carlson, meanwhile, pops one into short right field. Charging in fast is the right fielder, Maisel, and he makes the catch on the dive. Throws it into home. Coming up the line, the catcher Turner to cut it off. No advancement from DeSantolo, but a beautiful diving grab from Austin Maisel. Had to charge in quickly from right field, moved a little bit to his left toward the line, a flat-out extension, and took it right off the carpet for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, hitting the deck out there in right field was Maisel and making a great basket-style catch as he hit the ground. Able to hold on to that one, get to his feet, and fire it back in. More importantly, to keep that run at third base in DeSantolo for the Commodores.
So DeSantolo getting a short lead. Now it's Hackenberg who takes a first pitch breaking ball up at about the neck level. It's 1-0. So still Carlson finding himself just a little bit unlucky, but again, these things don't last long, as it looked like it was going to be a Texas League single, but Maisel making a nice diving effort. Hackenberg swings right through the next offering, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Has his right arm extended, asking for time. Now he's got both hands on the bat above his right shoulder. The offering, swing and a miss. Cuts right through another breaking ball, and he's down 1-2.
Well, Hackenberg's been a bit off balance on this at bat, but he's had himself quite a nice night, a single as well as an RBI.
Now gets the sign, fires home, ball gets away from Turner. Here comes DeSantolo, crosses home plate without a throw, and just like that, it's 6-1 Harbor Hawks. And the offense has come alive, to say the least, Brendan. Of course, they catch a break there, but 3 runs in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, they have caught a break here, Lyle, as you know, on that last pass ball as DeSantolo came in to score, but they've squared it up nicely. They've showed some good patience, a good mix of offense being put on by the Harbor Hawks tonight.
So 2-2 the count with 1 down. Kasparius shakes his head, now again, and finally gets the nod. From the first base side, winds and fires the 2-2. Foul ball straight back. So Hackenberg with an RBI single today. That came an inning ago. And it's what jump-started the Harbor Hawks offense as it plated DeSantolo on an RBI single to left center. And the 2-2. Breaking ball just inside ball 3. But Hackenberg, his first hit of the Cape Summer came on an RBI single. His first collegiate hit came on a 2-run blast against Charlotte University. And the 3-2. Up high, ball 4. So Hackenberg draws a 1-out walk. As another man reaches base, it puts 1 on and 1 down for Jackson Olsen.
And more patience being shown as Hackenberg that time gets on a base on balls that time. The Harbor Hawks have drawn 4 walks now tonight. 2 in the last 2 frames.
So now that brings up Hartford middle infielder Jackson Olsen. He takes a first pitch strike on the outer black. And you know, Brendan, a little bit of a funny story about Jackson. A contact hitter by trade, but he had 1 home run in his collegiate season at Hartford as he swings away and drives one to deep left. Back goes Langworthy. He's at the track and makes the catch on the run, settles under it as Hackenberg retreats to first. So that puts 2 down as Olsen gave it a ride the opposite way. It'll be Teodosio coming to the plate with 2 outs.
Now batting, The center fielder from Clemson
Well, you were mentioning how
number 26,
Olsen squared one up that time, and almost another home run for the Harbor Hawks tonight. The first one came off the bat of Hunter Goodman as Langworthy had to retreat back to the track that time, reeled it in.
So now it's Teodosio. He swings at the first pitch. On the ground to short. Cantrell fields it, flips short way to the second baseman Rinaldi, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up on the board for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 6th. They now lead 6-1 over the Falmouth Commodores through 5.5 frames. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th inning when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we come back for the bottom of the 6th here at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Tyler Madison's prolific day has ended after 5 innings pitched. The right-hander, last 5, strikes out 6, gives up just 2 hits in that time, and 1 earned run as a result. And with that, Chad Gassman opts to go to the bullpen, and for the first time in 2019, the lengthy right-hander Holt Jones takes the mound for the Harbor Hawks as the 6'8 right-handed thrower out of Clemson is set to face the Falmouth here in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off will be the number 9 man, Chris Rinaldi. First pitch from Holt Jones is a fastball on the outer edge for strike 1. So Holt, a rising junior at the University of Clemson, stands at 6'8", 215 pounds as he fires home another heater. Same spot, outside corner, strike 2. Holt threw 36 2/3 innings in his time in 2019, 22 appearances, 3.93 ERA with 43 punchouts. And the 0-2. Heater just away. Jones with a fastball that sits about 90 to 93. Also mixes in a change and a curveball as well. Now he's ready with the next offering. Ground ball right back to Jones on a one-hopper, throws overhand to Brooks Carlson at first, dives out of the way of the runner Rinaldi, but it's in time for the first out of the inning. So a nice spin move there by Brooks Carlson at the end, trying to avoid any train wreck over at first base, but he does so successfully, and Holt Jones, 1 batter, 1 down in the bottom of the 6th frame. So now that'll bring in Hayden Cantrell. He steps in for the 3rd time tonight. It'll be his first time seeing Holt Jones. First pitch in, fastball low. Well, Cameron Majinski, who hails from the University of South Carolina, was the Falmouth starter tonight. He lasted 4 1/3 innings with 7 punch-outs as the fastball from Jones to Cantrell misses up high. But Jones, who hails from Clemson, in-state rival of Majinski, of course, separate conferences, but they're two schools who, athletic-wise, have had that long-time rivalry going. And the next offering, fastball low. So Jones is behind 3 balls, no strikes to Cantrell, the man responsible for the lone Falmouth tally on the board. That was a solo blast on the first pitch of the inning, back in the bottom of the first. Cantrell squares the bunt on the 3-0, pulls back, gets a fastball low, and he draws a 4-pitch free pass. So he's aboard. Now with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. So Madison was humbled a little bit on really what was his first pitch as a member of the Cape Cod League, but settled down ever so well after that. And he's not a guy that gives up a whole lot of long balls. However, as we started to allude to in the top of the 6th frame, as Jones deals the first pitch out of the stretch, it's a swing and a foul tip back into the glove by the number 2 hitter, Blake Dunn. One of the home runs he did give up in his sophomore year at Bryant was to Hartford shortstop Jackson Olson. His one home run on the summer came off the Harbor Hawks starter tonight in Tyler Madison as Jones drops in a breaking ball at the top of the zone. So how about that icebreaker for the two of them? 2 mid-major schools will find their way to Hyannis this summer. What a coincidence for Olson, the one guy who he hits a home run off in 2019. Now it's his teammate. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A weak tap back to the glove, and Holt Jones records his 2nd strikeout of the evening. So Dunn's down on strikes.
Now batting, the left fielder.
Or make that hits his 1st strikeout of the night. His 2nd out recorded of the evening as he just overpowered the hitter Dunn with a high fastball there. And it'll bring up Austin Langworthy with 2 down and 1 on. But just a funny coincidence for Olson, who's now the 2nd baseman tonight. Now the first pitch to Langworthy. Swing and a pop-up, left side, foul out of play. So meanwhile, Cantrell, the man standing at first, yes, he got the better of Tyler Madison back in the first, but if you watched Madison just for the final 3 innings of his evening, you wouldn't have been able to tell anybody would have had the ability to get a piece of him, let alone put one out of the park. So the pitch to Langworthy's right down the heart of the plate for strike 2. Took Hackenberg out of his crouch, gave a look toward first, but Cantrell back safely. Also the left-handed hitting Langworthy, blocking his viewpoint a little bit. So now Jones just 1 strike away. 0-2 with 2 outs. He sets belt high. Out of the stretch and deals. Breaking ball low, chested up by Hackenberg. So Jones with a pitch to waste there. Couldn't entice Austin Langworthy. But the Harbor Hawks up 6-1. Although just 6 combined hits tonight. 4 from Hyannis, 2 from Falmouth. The other Commodores hit aside from Cantrell, and Austin Mazel's 1st inning single. Make that 2nd inning single as the throw back from Holt Jones to first on a pickoff. It's not in time. Back safely Cantrell. So Falmouth, through these last 3 2/3 innings or so, let's look more of how Hyannis looked the first 2 nights. Just blanked on offense. Jones misses high with a fastball. That's just how quickly things can change in the Cape. 2 couple of tough outings for Hyannis with the bats against Chatham and Katuitt, and now they hit the road to Falmouth against the team that's 2-0 to start the year, and an offensive explosion for him. Runner takes off, pitch hits Langworthy on a breaking ball right on the right leg as he flips the bat toward the dugout, and he'll take a hit by pitch, cruises down to first. So tough for Holt Jones as he loses the hitter Langworthy in a 2-strike count, as now his collegiate teammate Adam Hackenberg will call time and trot out to the mound.
Now batting, the catcher from Kent State University, number 15, Michael.
So now it's Michael Turner, cleanup hitter, and doing the catching tonight for the Commodores. But these battery mates have been a common theme of Chad Gassman so far through the first couple of games. Jones nods to his collegiate teammate Hackenberg, gets a sign he likes, and he'll fire home. First pitch, ground ball, past the dive of Carlson and down the right field line. Around third comes the runner. He's going to score easily. That's Cantrell. Now Langworthy getting the wave around. Throw coming in from the 2nd baseman, Olson, and it's in late. Langworthy slides in safely. Up to 2nd is Michael Turner with a 2 RBI double. And just like that, Falmouth is back on the board. It's 6-3 now at Gov Fuller Field. So a tough break for Jones after losing Austin Langworthy to the hit by pitch. He surrenders a 2 RBI double down the right field line. A valiant effort from Brooks Carlson diving to his left to try to make a stop on the ball to keep it on the infield. But couldn't quite get there in time. As a result, it plates 2. And now the Hyannis lead is cut to 3. So Jones works back onto the mound, still out of the stretch in the first pitch on a breaking ball. And the runner will take off for third. Throw gets by into left field from Hackenberg, and now he's going to come home. That's Michael Turner going from second to third to home on a wild pitch and an errant throw from Adam Hackenberg. And now it's a 2-run lead for Hyannis. It's 6-4. So Holt Jones just spiked one with a breaking ball in the dirt. It got a little bit to Hackenberg's right. Turner took off quickly on the dirt ball read. And Hackenberg tried to make a heroic throw down to DeSantolo at third, but it got over to his left, just a little too far out wide, and it skipped into left field, allowing Turner to score from third after taking third from second on the stolen base. So 6-4 the score. After Hyannis put up 3 in the 6th, Falmouth's matched it now. So it's back to a 2-run lead for the Harbor Hawks. Gassman opting for another arm to start getting loose in the bullpen as pitching coach Ray Korn is out to have a word with the big man Holt Jones. So out comes home plate umpire Rudy Firmback to break things up. The meeting concludes. Everybody goes back. Ray Korn makes a slow walk back to the dugout. Hackenberg behind the mound, or behind the plate rather. And Jones back on the mound. So nobody on with 2 outs. A clean slate for both Holt Jones and the hitter Steven Moretto. Umpire signals play and Jones is ready. The offering, swing and a miss. Goes right back to the fastball, puts it out over the plate and just blows it by Steven Moretto, the Sac State third baseman. So 6-4 the score. The infield back with 2 down. Outfield playing straight up. Jones kicks and deals. And another wave and a miss underneath a fastball from Jones, who put it right at the top of the zone. So Jones now on the same page as Hackenberg, gets the sign. And he'll come home on the outside corner, strike 3. Freezes Steven Moretto to end the bottom of the 6th, but not before 3 Falmouth runs come across. Hyannis with a 2-run lead through 6 innings of play. It's the Harbor Hawks 6, the Commodores 4. We'll go to the top of the 7th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we bring you back for the top of the 7th here at Gov Fuller Field, Hyannis goes to a Clemson arm. Now the Commodores opt to go to a Clemson arm. It'll be the left-hander Justin Robleski out of Clemson as the southpaw is set to deal to the leadoff man, Mitch McIntyre, as he counters with a first pitch breaking ball up high for a ball. So Robleski entering his senior year for the Tigers as he opts with another fastball, or his first fastball rather. This one hits the bottom of the zone for strike one. In 2019, through 13 innings, but a tough ERA just over 10. Hoping to get some work here on the Cape as he drops a breaking ball in. McIntyre checks the swing. Appeal down to third, but umpire Ryan Damari says he does not go around. So he comes on just after Holt Jones allowed the 2 RBI double, but nothing further as he struck out the final batter of the inning to keep the Hyannis lead at 2. And the offering to McIntyre, fastball on the outside corner. So 2-2 the count. McIntyre today 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Also an RBI ground out. Breaking ball down. And it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes. But McIntyre in search of his first hit today. Had a solid opening night against Chatham. 3-2 on the outside corner, strike 3. McIntyre was set to flip the bat back toward his dugout for the leadoff walk, but didn't get the call from home plate umpire Rudy Firmback as he rung him up. And there's one down in the top of the 7th.
University, number 11, Nick Lofton.
First strikeout of the summer, or first strikeout of the evening for Justin Robleski. Now he's set to face the Baylor Bear, Nick Lofton. First pitch, checks his swing, and he absolutely went around, broke the wrist out in front of home plate for strike 1. So Lofton 0 for 3 in his Cape League debut. Strikeout, ground out, and fly out to left. Now the southpaw Robleski fires home, and it misses just upstairs for ball 1. Robleski, a one-time draft pick in the 36th round. And now he'll fire home a breaking ball. That misses downer. Robleski, rather a rising sophomore. So he just finished his freshman year, beg your pardon. But set for his first summer on Cape Cod. And his second batter got a tough task. The man Lofton at the plate. Fires a fastball. That misses way up high, and it's 3-1. So Lofton again with a monster season at Clemson as he completed a duo on the left side of the infield with former Harbor Hawk Davis Wenzel, formerly drafted in the first round just a couple weeks ago, as Lofton sends one high in the air into short center field. Going back, Cantrell can't get there. Neither can the center fielder Dunn. It drops in between them. So Nick Lofton, a Texas League single with 1 out in the top of the 7th, puts the first man aboard of the inning. And he picks up his first hit here on Cape Cod in 2019.
Now batting, the left fielder from Arizona State.
So maybe a little bit of miscommunication there between the shortstop Cantrell, the center fielder Dunn. Of course, Blake Dunn playing fairly deep out in center with a fearsome hitter at the plate, Lofton, but that's his ball all the way. Cantrell was trying to race back for it out at his shortstop position, and as a result, just neither could quite converge in time. So now it's Trevor Hauver, left-handed hitting Sun Devil, watches a first pitch fastball away, and they've seemed to pitch him away most of the ball game so far. Hauver, much like Lofton, a vital reinforcement to the Harbor Hawk lineup. Trevor got here just a couple of days ago, earlier this week, and now making his first start of the summer. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. But Hauver, after hitting just .227 in his freshman year, boy, did he put that in the rearview mirror. Finished the year .339, 30 extra base hits, 13 long balls after not having a single home run in his freshman year, going along with 50 RBIs. So Robleski, out of the stretch, now steps off the mound, takes a pause. Hauver more of the same as he'll readjust his batting gloves just outside the box. And now Justin gets the sign he likes. He sets right above the chest at about neck-high level. Comes home, fastball down and away. Now Hauver had 1 home run last summer. It ended up being his first one since he'd entered collegiate play, and that came early on last summer in Katuitt. To be exact, that was back on June 15th, so just about a year ago. Next offering, cut and a miss, or rather gets a piece of it, foul tipping it back in and out of the glove of the catcher, Turner. But for Hauver, put a lot of work in the offseason, put on some positive muscle as well, and then in his preseason game, about 5 days before the start of the season, he had 3 long balls in ASU's maroon and gold exhibition game. So that was just a little bit of foreshadowing, to say the least. Lofton takes off, Hauver swings and sends one foul back over the Harbor Hawk dugout and off one of the light poles. So Lofton will come back. They attempted the hit and run there with 2 strikes and 1 down. But Hauver just spoiling it, foul out of play. Yeah, talk about that foreshadowing. 3 home runs in that exhibition game. And he added 13 that counted during the regular season. And the offering, that's up high. And for Hauver, I mean, he was second on the team in hits. He was tied for second in doubles, third in average, third in home runs, third in total bases, third in a lot of offensive categories. But the 2 guys ahead of him are set to be, either were or are set to be top 10 picks in their respective years. And the offering, he fouls back another one over the home plate screen, and he stays alive at 3-2. And those 2 guys, one by the name of Hunter Bishop, who was just drafted 10th overall by the San Francisco Giants. He spent 2 summers up here on the Cape with the Brewster Whitecaps. The other one, Spencer Torkelson, who's viewed by some to maybe be the top name off the board next summer. So Hauver in some pretty good company in his team ranks offensively. Wroblewski throws over to first. Back standing up is Nick Lofton, the Baylor shortstop. So Trevor today reached base once and scored. Otherwise 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. Southpaw Wroblewski sets chest high, checks the runner at first. Long pause, and he'll now step off. Fakes a throw to first, but Lofton just a couple of steps back toward the back. So a marathon of an at-bat between the Sun Devil Hauver and the Tiger Wroblewski here. As Justin Wroblewski back onto the mound, now fires home. Fastball up high, and he walks him. Trevor Hauver back-to-back walks and as many at-bats as he trots down to first, and now that puts 2 on base for the designated hitter, Hunter Goodman.
Now batting, the designated hitter from the University of Memphis, number 23, Hunter
So Goodman fresh off that 2-run blast an inning ago. That ball got about 10 or 15 feet beyond the wall in left center. It left Langworthy, the Falmouth left fielder, nothing but a spectator. Now his first time seeing Wroblewski as he gives a healthy hack, but comes up empty on the first pitch fastball. Goodman, aside from that, a pair of strikeouts, both coming swinging, courtesy of the Falmouth starter, Carmen Majinski. Wroblewski checks the runner at second, comes home. Spoiled foul by the hitter Goodman back behind him. 6-4 Hyannis the score. 5 hits for the Harbor Hawks, 3 for the Commodores. Oh, 0-2 the count to Goodman, with Lofton getting a lead at second, Hauver a lead at first, with the Falmouth first baseman Volpe playing behind him. No need for Hull with runners on first and second. Now the offering. Ground ball left side, fielded by Moretto at third. On the ground to second for one, throw to first, not in time, and Goodman will beat it out. So Hauver thrown out at second base on a 5-4 fielder's choice, but they can't quite turn the double play. As Moretto fielded it at third, spiked one into the ground at second, luckily picked out for Falmouth by Rinaldi, and still tried to turn that final piece of the double play to first, but the runner, Hunter Goodman, beat it out, putting runners on the corners.
Atlantic University, number 1, Jared DeSantalo.
So now that'll bring up DeSantalo. Runners on the corners with 2 down. It's Lofton at third, Goodman at first. Now Wroblewski, the southpaw, ready. First pitch, fastball right at the knees. A lefty-lefty matchup. DeSantalo represents one of 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. And he's so far today, very successful evening. That pitch, breaking ball up high, runner takes off for second. Now a throw back to third on a back pick, not in time. So Goodman swipes second base. Turner tries to throw back to third, hoping to get Nick Lofton sleeping, but he didn't do so. And now Harbor Hawks have runners on second and third with 2 down. So DeSantolo today, a single, a pair of walks, and 2 runs scored. That all coming in 3 plate appearances. And the offering from Robleski down in the dirt, chested up by Michael Turner. No advancement from either runner. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. So DeSantolo, who sees a healthy amount of right-handed pitching, getting his opportunity against a southpaw. That's Robleski here on this 3rd game of the season. 2-run offering, called strike. Well, Hyannis up 6-4 on Falmouth tonight, looking to pick up a win here at Gov Fuller Field for the first time in almost 4 years. Their last win against the Commodores here at Gov Fuller Field, coming on July the 14th of 2015, where they picked up a 4-2 victory. And now the offering. DeSantolo dribbles one on the ground towards second, barehanded by No. The pitcher Robleski throws the first, not in time. DeSantolo beats it out on an infield single, coming home to score Nick Lofton, and the Harbor Hawks put on an additional run. It's 7-4 Hyannis in the top of the 7th as DeSantolo picks up his 2nd hit of the night. And having a day for himself as well. He's reached base 4 times, 2 singles now. And it extends the inning for Brooks Carlson. So good communication by the Falmouth infield. It was the right play for the pitcher Robleski, who was running back toward it, being the lefty he is, to try and barehand it and throw it to first, rather than the second baseman Rinaldi trying to come in on it, but just couldn't quite do it in time as Robleski spikes the first pitch in the dirt.
Number 14, Brooks Carlson.
So now Goodman stands at third. It's the Owl DeSantolo at first. And it's the Samford Bulldog Carlson at the plate. 1-0 offering. Line drive foul down the right field line toward the bullpen and up over into the wooden stands just behind the mound down the first base line for Falmouth. Carlson, with those 78 hits he had in 2019, we're tied for 3rd in the Southern Conference. Also placed 7th in total bases with 117. 1-1, cut and a miss. Chases after a fastball right at about the shoestrings from Robleski, but couldn't get anything of it. 1-2 with 2 down. 7-4 Harbor Hawks the score. Carlson's out of the box, asking Gassman, who's coaching down at third base, to go over the signs again. Picks it up, flips the bat at the mound a couple of times, back inside the box, and now ready to go. 1-2 pitch. Fastball high, taking off for second. DeSantolo slides in safely. Nobody even gives him a look. So DeSantolo swipes the bag. That puts runners on second and third. What might be ruled a defensive indifference, we'll see. Regardless, Harbor Hawks have 2 runners in scoring position, and Carlson has himself in a 2-2 count. Now here comes the next pitch. Ground ball through the 5-6 gap for a base hit. Coming around third, DeSantolo, after a run scoring already, throws up the line. Now tag applied by Turner, but DeSantolo slides under it. 2 RBI base knock for Brooks Carlson, his first of the summer. Brings in Goodman from third, DeSantolo from second, and it's 9-4 Hyannis in the top of the 7th frame. So Carlson comes through with his first hit of the summer, and an important one as well. Hyannis with a nice 5-run cushion once again, 9-4 here at Gov Fuller Field. And it looks like this may be the day for Justin Robleski, as they will signal to the mound once again to go get a new arm. So Robleski, after the 2-run single, his day ends. 9-4 Hyannis in the top of the 7th. Harbor Hawks have scored 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and now 3 in the 7th. We'll have a new arm for you on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 7th resuming here at Gov Fuller Field. It's 9-4 Hyannis as Falmouth has called in right-hander Javen Drake out of Western Illinois for his first appearance of the night. It'll be Adam Hackenberg, the Clemson Tiger, digging in. The first pitch is down and away for ball 1. It's also Drake's first appearance of the summer. Again, hails from Western Illinois, where he threw 103 innings this past school year. He's got a heavy amount of work there. As he spikes one in the dirt, skips over the glove of Turner, gets to the backstop, and cruising down to second is Brooks Carlson. So now a runner on second. 2-0 the count to Hackenberg. Adam today, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. So Drake in his time there at Western Illinois, that being 4.37 ERA, 7-6 record, 42 walks to 109 punchouts. 2-0. Fastball low. Hackenberg opened up the floodgates for the Harbor Hawks back in the 5th with that RBI single. Now he's got somewhat of a similar situation with another man on second, but way ahead of the count at 3-0. We'll see if he's taken here. Here comes the pitch out of the stretch from Drake. Down low, ball 4. Hackenberg reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. That's his 2nd walk of the evening. And now Hyannis has runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
Now batting, the second baseman from the University of
Up comes the
Hartford,
8th man to the
number
plate this
9,
inning, Jackson Olson, the second baseman out of Hartford. But for Javen Drake, a 6'4", 200-pound right-hander, still looking to get one over the plate. Here comes the first offering. Fastball low. That's 5 balls in a row. So these Falmouth relievers had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone after the exit of their starter, Carmen Majinski. After it looked like Hyannis had another chance to be blank tonight, they have absolutely exploded against the bullpen. Now a fastball comes in right at the knees, count levels at a ball and a strike. They made quick work of Aiden Maldonado, hit around Justin Robleski, and now the 3rd reliever of the game, Javen Drake, set to try to clean things up. Pitch in, puts a fastball in the dirt, really making Turner work. He keeps that one out in front, and it's 2-1. Drake last summer spent 2018 up in the Northwoods League. Played with the Waterloo Bucks, where he threw 40 innings, 4.28 ERA, 14 walks to 34 strikeouts. So his command to his innings pitched is usually pretty clean, but just a little trouble today as Hartford spoils one foul out of play on the left side. Olson 0 for 3. He started his summer off with a bang on opening night against Chatham, where he was the only man on the Cape to put together a 3-hit day. Drake checks the runners, now comes home. Olson spoils one foul again. Pops one up and out of play left side. Since that 3-hit day, however, Olson in search of another hit, which would be his 4th of the summer. Has a potent opportunity here with 2 on, 2-1 count. And Drake takes a breath after setting at the belt. Fires home. And Olson pops it foul out of play again, or rather, it was 2-2 with that last pitch, and he keeps it that way. Scoreboard yet to update here at Gov Fuller, but 2 down, 2 on. Olson, the hitter from the left side. Sun is pretty much completely set here in Falmouth. Now the 2-2. High pop-up left side on the infield. Coming in Cantrell and Moretto. It'll be Cantrell taking charge, squeezes it, and that'll be the final out of the inning. So Javen Drake comes on and limits any further damage, but not before another 3-spot put up on the board by the Harbor Hawks, this time in the top of the 7th. It's Hyannis 9, Falmouth 4. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th frame when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
6-8-5.
A long wait for Holt Jones as he takes the hill again here in the bottom of the 7th, back for his second inning of relief against the Commodores lineup featuring 6, 7, and 8, Jake Frasca, Austin Maisel, and Alex Volpe.
University, number 9, Jake Frasca.
The tall right-hander fires in a first pitch fastball that's tap foul to the backstop by Frasca. Harborhawks out in front by 5 here from Gov Fuller Field. 9-4 is our score as we enter play in the home half of the 7th. Harborhawks 9 runs on 7 hits to the Commodores 4 runs on 3 hits. As Holt Jones working from the windup in 0-1 count, fires a fastball, big wave and a miss by Frasca at the top of the zone, 0-2. Nightfall starting to set in here from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. Sky developing into a shade of navy blue. The 0-2 from Jones. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Frasca goes after another fastball out of the zone. So he'll take a slow walk back to the dugout. That'll bring up the Holy Cross product, Austin Maisel.
And Jones really has that high fastball working in his favor. I mean, he's already got the height advantage over pretty much any man that steps on the field, being at 6'8". The long arm delivery already cuts off some of the distance, but the fact that he elevates those high fastballs and really kind of entices some of the hitters with them, something he uses to his advantage well.
Austin Maisel stepping in as he watches a fastball go by ankle high for ball 1. Lights are on here in Falmouth. There's a bleak shade of pink forming over the batter's eye in center field. Big cut and a miss that time. Almost came out of his shoes, did Maisel on that swing. 0-2. Or excuse me, 1-1. Jones ready again, fires, foul tip to the backstop, straight back. A ball and 2 strikes now on Austin Maisel, the right fielder tonight for the Commodores. Couple of errors on the part of the Harborhawks tonight, but nothing that has come back to bite them so far in the ball game. Commodores trying to mount a rally here in the 7th as this pitch is sent back right up the middle where it came from, past the diving glove of Nick Lofton into center field, a base hit. Putting the brakes on, rounding first is Maisel. He's aboard with a 1-out single.
And a nice piece of hitting by Maisel. Again, Jones trying to elevate the fastball, and he's done so very successfully tonight, but Maisel puts a good swing on it to catch up with it. And as a result, he just shoots one back up the middle. A good diving effort from Lofton. But finally, or should say a hit on the board just to begin the bottom of the 7th with 1 down for Falmouth.
So the Commodores forcing Holt Jones to work from the stretch tonight as he pumps in a breaking pitch at the knees, a called strike, 0-1. Alex Volpe, first baseman from Holy Cross, batting in the number 8 slot in the lineup tonight for the Commodores as the breaking ball spins too far out of the zone, down and away, corralled by Hackenberg behind the dish. Holt set at the belt with the glove. A pause, now the delivery, a fastball down and away again. Watched by Volpe on the outside corner, 2-1. Another man from Holy Cross, Chris Rinaldi, the second baseman, awaiting on deck, taking some practice cuts over by the first base dugout. Holt a deep breath, now a stare down at Volpe, the pitch, fastball in the inside corner, 3-1. So Holt trying not to lose the number 8 man in the lineup. The 3-1 pitch, a fastball, tails too far off the outer edge, and that's ball 4. So a 1-out walk puts 2 men aboard here in this inning. That'll bring up the number 9 man, Chris Rinaldi.
Yeah, and Jones just let a couple pitches get away from him there. A couple outside, a couple a little too high, issues a base runner. Key for him here is really just to throw strikes. I mean, Hyannis up 5 runs. Can even just kind of let him put the ball in play. His defense has been pretty good tonight, so that's really the key for Jones here in relief.
So Jones finding himself in a mini jam as he steams a fastball up high. Just missing the zone, up and in this time to Rinaldi, 1-0. It's Maisel off of second, Volpe off of first. 1 down here in the home half of the 7th from Gov Fuller. Kicks and deals a 1-0. Another high fastball that spins Rinaldi back off the plate a bit, 2-0. Rinaldi, a rising senior at Holy Cross, hit .241 in his time in 2019. Also bringing in 27 RBIs. Got a runner in scoring position here with a 2-0 count as he sends one in the air to center field. That's going to fall in front of Teodosio and in for a base hit. Rounding third, coming in to score is Mazel. On his way to third and stopping there is Volpe. It's an RBI single, make it 9-5. Chris Rinaldi does the trick.
That's just another good piece of hitting from Falmouth, this time from Rinaldi. Same thing, sees one out over the plate from Jones. He'd thrown he'd walked the last batter. He was trying to find the plate the last couple of times. He finally gets one out over the plate, but maybe caught a little bit too much of it. As a result, Rinaldi shoots one back up the middle, and Falmouth gets a run back.
So 5 runs on 5 hits now for the Commodores tonight. 9-5 the score. And it's men on the corners with one away now for the leadoff man, Hayden Cantrell, as that one, a curveball snuck behind his back foot. Nearly plunked him. 1 ball and no strikes. Cantrell has a home run in the ball game. Been aboard twice with a walk as well. Jones is set, kicks and deals, and that one is in the air to center field again. That's going to fall in front of Teodosio. Another run's going to come in to score. So back-to-back RBI singles for the Commodores. They're slowly making their way back. 9-6 ball game now.
Well, right when we thought it was going to be a pitcher's duel through the first 5 innings or so, all of a sudden it's turning into a bit of a slugfest. 15 runs now here in the game tonight. And for Holt Jones, after a pretty solid first inning of relief outside of the 1 double to prevent further damage, he's created a little bit of damage of his own here and looking to settle down.
So from Gov Fuller, as we go deeper into the night, the bats have started to wake up for both sides. 9-6. Lyle, as you mentioned, 15 runs in the ball game. First and second, just one away now. Blake Dunn stands in as he watches a breaking ball down and away. It is Rinaldi at second and Cantrell at first, courtesy of that RBI single just a moment ago. Dunn awaits the 1-0 pitch. A fastball paints the outside black, evens the count 1-1. The Western Michigan product, center fielder tonight for Falmouth. Batting in the number 2 hole, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, trying to change his fortunes. Awaiting the 1-1 pitch from Holt Jones, a check swing. Did he go around? And yes, he did. So a 1-2 count now on Dunn. Couldn't hold up with a pitch in the dirt as Holt Jones got him to offer. So the 6'8 righty from Clemson eyeing his second strikeout of the inning, the 1-2. Breaking ball tailing too far into the left-handed batter's box that time, sliding to his right to stop it was Hackenberg from reaching the backstop. 2-2. Dunn waving the bat out toward Jones a couple of times. Back set for the 2-2, a fastball. Up high in the zone, another check swing. Did not offer at that one, however, was able to pull up in time. The count swells 3-2. Payoff pitch from Holt Jones on the way. High fastball, and he lost him. So that will load up the bases with still just 1 out in the inning. And now the Commodores really starting to threat with the go-ahead run coming to the plate.
Yeah, and the number 3 hitter, too, with Austin Langworthy digging in. But for Jones, it's been a little bit of a tough go of it for him in the 7th inning. But he showed that command and ability to respond in the 6th. We'll see if he can battle back, although he may not get a chance to, as Chad Gassman's going to work his way out to the mound. From our vantage point, we're a little bit blocked to see who it is warming up in the bullpen for Hyannis, but there's somebody getting going down there if Gassman opts to remove Jones.
Now this could either be a move to the bullpen or just to buy a little time for that reliever getting loose down there.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Brennan. I think that's absolutely what Gassman is intending to do right now. Give whoever's in the bullpen some time to warm up. but also it reassures some confidence in Jones a little bit. I mean, this is a kid who, like I said, outside the double in the 6th, had a pretty good inning, couple of strikeouts. And outside, he's had some trouble with the command, although it is only his first start here, or appearance, we should say, on Cape Cod. So obviously some jitters to work out. Oh, and now finally, as the home plate umpire comes out, no, is Gassman going to say? Yes, he's going to signal to the bullpen. So he waited as long as he possibly could until he had to make a decision to try to get the reliever some warm-up pitches. And now he's going to exit Jones and enter a new reliever. It looks like it's Nick Mondak.
So that will be the day for Holt Jones as he makes his way back to the Hyannis dugout with a bit of an ovation from his teammates as Nick Mondak takes the mound. Coach Gassman coming off the field back to the dugout. A pitching change here from Gov Fuller Field. We'll be back for you on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here at Gov Fuller Field off the pitching change. Nick Mondak, as we mentioned before the break, coming into the game. The little southpaw from St. John's University, making his second appearance of his Cape Cod summer. And not the first time he has had to deal with a bases-loaded jam. He pitched back on opening night at McKeon Park and escaped a bases-loaded jam with nobody away. He's gone one inning with a walk and a strikeout so far on his summer. He'll be tasked with facing Austin Langworthy in this high-pressure situation. Langworthy representing the go-ahead run for the Commodores, standing in the left-handed batter's box. The bases are full with just one out here in the home half of the 7th. A lefty-lefty matchup in favor of Mondak. Here's the 1-0 pitch into the dirt again, spiked and blocked by Hackenberg. 2 balls and no strikes as the tension builds here at Gov Fuller Field. The fans that have stuck around in the audience behind the Falmouth dugout starting to come back to life as they realize the Commodores are one swing of the bat away from striking yet again on the scoreboard. The 2-0 pitch, a fastball, misses up high, 3-0 now. And now Mondak has to throw a strike. He's got nowhere to put Langworthy. The Florida left fielder 0 for 2 on the night, a hit by pitch as well in the 6th, the 3-0. A get me over fastball right down central for strike 1. Harborhawks have put up 3 in each of the last 3 frames. But the Commodores hanging around, putting up 3 back in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. And threatening here again in the 7th. As the 3-1 misses, he walked in a run. That's going to be 9-7. As coming in across the plate is Chris Rinaldi. The back-to-back walk surrendered by the Harborhawks pitching staff, and it's 9-7 with Michael Turner coming up.
Yeah, and tough for Mondak. I mean, he comes in a bases-loaded situation. You mentioned it, Brendan, that he got out of a bases-loaded nobody out jam on Monday night against the Chatham Anglers, but just had a little bit of trouble locating to that first batter.
And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter subbed in here for the Commodores, Tyler Ross. So the Commodores opting to counter the Harborhawks move to the bullpen with a pinch hitter of their own. So taking some practice cuts and stepping into the right-handed batter's box, a wave and a miss through a knee-high fastball for strike one. So still more pressure here for Mondak, the lefty on the hill. As the bases are still loaded, just one out as Ross takes a look at a strike on the inner half. So a good bounce back here from Mondak, and this is bad after surrendering the walk, getting Ross to 0-2. Taking a quick step off and adjusting the bill of his cap. That left pitching arm dangling below the belt as he gets a sign from Hackenberg. The 0-2 on the way. Fastball tapped at the plate, foul. Well, Lyle, we talked about it earlier. We mentioned that we looked like we were headed for a quick ball game and a pitcher's duel between Madison and Majinski, but not to be, as the bats have come alive for both sides here in this ball game. Mondak with an 0-2, a swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout there of the pinch hitter Ross, who goes down on a high fastball, his head hanging, walking back to the dugout. And Stephen Moretto makes his way up to the plate.
And these Harbor Hawk relievers just continue to elevate high fastballs and use it to their success. These Falmouth hitters have chased after a lot of high heat tonight. Have come up empty on a lot, but yeah, Brendan, you mentioned it. 9-7 the score, all but one of those runs coming since the start of the fifth inning. And all of them have come in three spots as well from both teams.
As the first pitch swinging here from Moretto is launched down the left field line, but way out in front of it on a fastball from Mondak as he sent it into the brush off behind the Hyannis dugout. So Moretto trying to turn the tide for himself tonight. 3 strikeouts, but trying to come through here for the Commodores in a 9-7 game with the bases loaded and 2 away. Perhaps one of the bigger spots in the ball game thus far, as Mondak working from the windup kicks and delivers as that one is sent in the air to left center field. That is going to split the gap and get down for a base hit. 1 runs in to score. Coming in behind him is Dunn to score, and it's an RBI single for Stephen Moretto that ties the ball game at 9 apiece.
And a tough break for Mondak. He had that strikeout a batter ago. Looked like he was starting to settle in, but Moretto gets a good piece of one, just squaring it up to left center, falling out in front of both Hover and Teodosio. And just like that, a 5 spot for Falmouth in the inning has knotted things up at 9.
So coming up for his second at-bat of the inning is Sacred Heart product Jake Frasca, who struck out to begin this inning, which feels like forever ago now, as a 5 spot put up by the Commodores in this inning, and they're still not done. A runner 90 feet away from giving Falmouth the lead as Mondak steams in a first pitch fastball for a strike on the inner half. So the southpaw trying to avoid any further damage from Falmouth here in this inning. Another fastball misses just below the knees that time, trying to paint the same spot that time. Could not pick up the call. It's 1-1. So it's Langworthy at third, Moretto at first, and Frasca the hitter. Swing and a miss out in front of an off-speed pitch that time. Mondak pulled a string on him, 1-2. Mondak 1 strike away from working out of the inning. Couple checks on the runner at first. Kicks and deals the 1-2. Fastball is upstairs again as Frasca fans for the second time in the frame. He goes down. That retires the side, but not before Falmouth comes storming back to tie the ball game at 9 apiece. It's a brand new ball game with the Harbor Hawks coming to the plate in the top of the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning here from Gov Fuller Park. New life has been breathed into the Falmouth Commodores. They came roaring back in the home half of the 7th to put up a 5 spot to draw even with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at 9 apiece. Javen Drake still on the bump for Falmouth, back for his second inning of relief. Bryce Teodosio with a wave and a miss to start off the frame. Big lively fastball from Drake on the outer part of the plate. Bryce, a strikeout victim earlier in the ball game, also was drawn a walk and bounced into a fielder's choice. The 0-1 from Drake, a breaking ball into the dirt, knocked down by Turner on the backhand. Harbor Hawks bats have come alive here in the third game of the season after dropping one 11-0. As the 1-1 pitch is cracked deep to right field, but moving under it is Maisel, has plenty of time, lost it in the lights for a second and moved back to the track to make the grab. And Teodosio was gone for out number 1 of the 8th. That'll bring up Mitch McIntyre, the BYU right fielder. So for Javen Drake, the rising senior from Western Illinois, a 4.37 ERA in 2019, went 7-6 with 2 complete games, but making a bullpen appearance for the Falmouth Commodores here tonight. McIntyre spins the bat through the zone a couple times, set for the first pitch of the at-bat. First pitch swinging on the ground towards second. Rinaldi scoops it up and an easy toss to first. And a quick 2 up, 2 down for the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 8th.
Now behind the plate for the Commodores, senior from Babson College, number 10, Sean Harrington. Now batting the shortstop from Baylor University.
Sean Harrington has been subbed in behind the plate for Turner. He will be taking over for the catching duties as Nick Lofton steps in from the right side, waving the bat above his right shoulder. First pitch swinging as he pumps that one foul out of play, off behind the bleachers. Nightfall has officially set in here in Falmouth, Mass. Lights are on here from Gov Fuller Field. Working from the windup now is Drake. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball into the dirt. Knocked down on the backhand by Harrington. 1 ball and 1 strike on Nick. Drake working quickly, fires in a 1-1 curveball that missed too far off the outer edge of the plate. Couldn't get Nick to go chasing after it. Two-one popped up just behind the grandstands, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the Harbor Hawks shortstop. Lofton in his season with the Baylor Bears hit a leadoff home run against Kansas back on March 25th. As he sends this one in the air to deep left center. Moving after it is Langworthy and Dunn, and it will fall off to the left of both of them. As cruising into second base with a double is Nick Lofton. And having a conversation out there is Langworthy and Dunn, as both of them looked like they're a bit confused, perhaps lost that one in the lights, but nonetheless, it's a runner in scoring position now for Trevor Hauver, the Arizona State Sun Devil, and perhaps the Harbor Hawks in business.
Now batting the left fielder from Arizona State University.
2 outs in the inning for Hauver coming up to the dish. 0 for 2, he's also drawn a couple of walks. Came around to score back in the 6th inning. One of the 3 that the Harbor Hawks were able to push across in that frame. Drake a couple of checks out at second base on Lofton as he fires a fastball knee-high to Hauver for strike 1. A deep breath taken by Drake, a peek at second base, and a breaking ball way over the top of that one was Hauver. Drake really had him fooled that time. Big looping breaking ball. And the count moves to 0-2 against Trevor Hauver. Memphis DH Hunter Goodman awaits on deck. Should the inning get to him, the 0-2 pitch on the way, a breaking ball into the dirt. Hauver laying off 1 and 2. Lofton taking a short lead off of second base with 2 away in the inning. Drake, tan glove set at the belt. Now the pitch. Fastball tailing outside. Make it 3-1. So Hover in good position to draw his third walk of the night. His third in as many plate appearances. Next pitch from Drake, another breaking ball, swing and a miss as down to a knee goes Harver. The tag is applied by Harrington behind the plate for good measure. And Harver taking a stroll back to the dugout. This game stays knotted at 9 apiece as Lofton stranded out at second base. The Commodores coming to the bat looking to keep the train rolling here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom of the 8th here from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Number 8, Austin
Home half
Giselle.
of the 8th inning. 9-9 the score. As we enter the late frames of this one. Nick Mondak, the left-hander, still on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Facing the bottom third of the Falmouth order, starting with Austin Maisel, who steps into the left-handed batter's box as he watches a first pitch fastball belt high for strike one. Harbor Hawks trying to limit the damage as an 0-1 fastball spiked into the dirt, make the count 1-1. The Commodores put up 3 2 frames ago and 5 in the home half of the 7th inning as they come storming back from a large deficit to tie the ball game at 9 apiece. Mondak's 1-1, a fastball shin high. Just missing the bottom part of the zone 2-1 to the Holy Cross right fielder Maisel. Mondak back in high school, the number 3 overall recruit in the entire state of Connecticut. Misses with another fastball again at the ankles of Maisel, 3-1. But once he reached college, he missed his entire sophomore season due to injury. And just made one start in his freshman season before missing the remainder of it with another injury as he loses him on a fastball downstairs and away, and he walked him.
Time to announce the winner of tonight's bag toss. The bag
So
toss
Maisel was
winner
aboard to
is
start things in the 8th for the
Kevin
Commodores. That'll
Price.
bring up the number 8 hitter, Alex Volpe, the first baseman.
Congratulations, and please stop by the intern tent to
0 for
take
2
your
with the
prize.
walk on the evening. Came around to score one of the 5 runs put up by the Commodores in the 7th as Chad Gassman making his way out to the mound to have a quick conversation with Mondak. Some action down there in the Harbor Hawk bullpen. Perhaps Gassman on his way out to the mound to make the change. Not taking the ball away from his left-hander just yet. Mondak has struggled with location in a bit in his second appearance of the summer. And that will be it as the home plate umpire, Rudy Fernbach, making his way out to the mound to break up the conversation as Gassman makes another move to the bullpen. So pitching change here from Gov Fuller Field once again. We'll have it for you on the other side of the break and more on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here at Gulf Fuller Field off the pitching change. It's the right-hander from the University of Missouri, Connor Ash, that Chad Gassman has given the ball to here in the 8th. Making his second appearance of his Cape League summer. He went 3 scoreless innings on opening night against the Chatham Anglers, walking 2 and striking out 6 in a phenomenal performance. He'll be greeted here by first baseman Alex Volpe, squaring around a bunt, pulling back on an inside fastball called strike. Chris Rinaldi tightening up those batting gloves. He awaits in the on-deck circle. Austin Maisel off of first base with nobody away in the home half of the 8th. Tie ball game 9-9. Ash kicks and fires a bunt, swatted away foul. So make it 0-2 here to the Holy Cross product. Ash features a fastball in the low to mid 90s, a changeup in the low to mid 80s, as well as a curveball and a slider. Uses all 4 pitches to his advantage, as evident by his scoreless appearance back on opening night against the Anglers. A breaking ball, that one stays too high up at the letters, 1-2. Volpe waves the bat a couple of inches above home plate. Steps back into the box. He's ready for the 1-2 pitch from Ash. A breaking ball, that one just off the outer edge of the plate. Ash with a quick stare back into Fernbach to say, where did that one miss? Count draws even at 2-2. Ash with a long stare down at Hackenberg, gets his sign, and now will take a quick step off. 9 runs on 8 hits for the visiting Harbor Hawks, 9 runs on 7 hits for the hosting Commodores. Ash is ready, a 2-2 fastball swing and a miss, strike 3 as Volpe goes down. A lively fastball, that one blown right by the first baseman from Holy Cross. That'll bring up Chris Rinaldi.
Number 12, Chris Rinaldi.
So Ash picking up right where he left off from opening night, his 7th strikeout of his Cape summer. As Rinaldi, the number 9 man, digs in. His 4th plate appearance of the evening with 1 away in the 8th as a check on the runner at first. A low throw knocked down by Carlson, and the return throw back to Ash as he will step back onto the rubber. Rinaldi had multiple hits back in the 2017 NCAA tournament, trying to impress the scouts in attendance here tonight in Falmouth. Another spin and a check back in with a dive head first is Maisel at first. Ash is set, kick and delivery. A breaking ball snapped off belt high right down central for a strike. Rinaldi looking to reset himself on the 0-1 count, taps the plate. Choked up about 1.5 inches on the bat. Ash is ready, the 0-1 fastball, that's into the dirt, knocked down on the backhand by Hackenberg. A ball and a strike. A very entertaining ball game tonight for the fans that came out to support the home Commodores and the visiting Harbor Hawks, who made the trip on Red Shirt Friday. Ash's 1-1 breaking ball into the dirt. Knocked down between the legs of Hackenberg, 2-1. Red Shirt Friday, a weekly tradition in the Cape Cod Baseball League. As the home team wears a specially made red jersey with white numbering and a camouflage cap to support the military. Ash's 2-1 breaking ball again, right down the middle. Rinaldi takes a look at it, evens the count 2-2. Ash, another long pause and a spin and a throw back to first. In with a dive head first is Maisel again. Eyeing for a 2nd consecutive strikeout here in the 8th and his 8th of the summer already. It would be a big second out if he can get one for the Harbor Hawks right now. Set of the belt, the 2-2 pitch, a fastball, ring him up at the knees, strike 3, and Rinaldi can't believe it. A quick stare back out at Connor Rash on the mound as he walks back to the dugout.
Now batting, the shortstop.
And the lineup card flips over again for the shortstop out of Louisiana Lafayette, Hayden Cantrell. Left-handed hitting Cantrell responsible for kicking the scoring off in the ball game. It was a home run on the first pitch back in the first inning. The game stayed scoreless for 3 straight frames until the Harbor Hawks broke it open back in the 5th as that one is tapped foul off toward the Falmouth dugout. Falmouth, to their credit, has done a nice job clawing their way back into this game and staying resilient as they try and crack the code of the Missouri product Connor Ash as a breaking ball catches the top of the zone for a strike. A bit of a groan from the home supporters. 0-2 on Cantrell, who has reached base 3 times tonight. 2 times courtesy of a hit and a walk in the 6th as well. Ash's 0-2, breaking ball, waving a miss in the dirt off the mask of Hackenberg. And the batter is out as first base was occupied. Advancing up to second base is Mazel. The throw to first will end the inning. My apologies there as Ash fires down to first on the return throw to the plate from Hackenberg. That will end the inning as a matter of fact. Game stays tied at 9 apiece here from Gov Fuller Field, with the Harbor Hawks coming to the plate in the top of the 9th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Working our way into the top of the 9th in a tie ball game at 9 apiece. A new pitcher onto the hill for the Commodores in this one. It's the rising junior from Northwestern State University, Logan Hoffman. A 311 earned run average in 2019 in his time at school, 89 2/3 innings pitched, and 128 strikeouts. Just phenomenal numbers from the right-hander as Hunter Goodman digs in and watched the first pitch fastball taken up high by the neck level for ball 1. Hoffman working from the windup. A lively fastball is sent straight up in the air on the infield. Third baseman Moretto is under it. He has a play on it. He'll make the catch. And Goodman is set down for out number 1.
And he just sent that one about a mile high. Timed it up okay, just a little bit under it. As a result, pretty easy play for Moretto.
Now batting, the third baseman.
That'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Jared DeSantolo.
Number 1, Jared DeSantolo.
Connor Ash in the home half of the 8th inning, shutting down the Commodores lineup with 3 straight strikeouts to end the inning. He has been lights out for the Harbor Hawks thus far this summer. First pitch to DeSantelo, curveball at the knee level, a called strike.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brendan. 9 strikeouts in 4 innings of work so far for him. We were just saying off the air, all he does is strike guys out.
The 0-1 to DeSantelo, a breaking ball at the letters. That one stayed too high, couldn't catch the top of the zone, 1-1. And if you like strikeouts, how about this for a stat? On offense, the Harbor Hawks have struck out 33 times. On defense, they've struck opponents out 33 times. 1-1 fastball missing at about the shin level. 2 balls and a strike to Jared DeSantelo, sporting the old-fashioned stirrup socks. Hoffman, a deep breath, glove in front of the face. The wind and the pitch. 2-1 fastball sent out of play, up and over us, into the brush. That one will wake you up.
Woke me
Buzzing
up
right
a
over
little
the head. That one's sailing right over the top of us and off into the distance. 2-2 the count to the FAU product DeSantelo. Hoffman ready the pitch. Breaking ball. That one just missing off the outside corner as Harrington held it there behind the plate for just a moment, trying to frame it. Could not. Hoffman had a couple words into the glove as he took a quick stroll around the mound. And the count runs full on DeSantelo. Comes the payoff pitch. A fastball sent the opposite way on the ground to third. Moretto's up with it. Throw to first across the diamond in time to get DeSantelo. 2 gone.
And he tried to take it the other way. And he's done some pretty productive opposite field hitting through his first couple of games. He had opposite field hit tonight already, but that one just right at the third baseman Moretto, as he's been a part of the first 2 outs recorded in the 9th.
So that'll bring up Brooks Carlson. A curveball at the knees, a called strike from Hoffman. He's got a good one. Used it a couple times in the first 2 at-bats of this inning in the 9th. A tie ball game at 9 apiece. 0-1, a fastball taken up high by the shoulders as the count draws even. Carlson making his 5th plate appearance of the evening, bounced into a double play, or lined into a double play, I should say, in the 2nd inning. Was plunked in the 4th, and then has drawn a couple of walks as he takes a look at a breaking ball outside 2-1. Takes some practice hacks in the on-deck area is Adam Hackenberg. Leg pads on, though, however, with 2 away. 2-1 pitch is sent straight back into the metal fencing backstop. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Wind and delivery from Hoffman, a breaking ball into the dirt, knocked down by Harrington behind the plate as he snaps back to his feet. So Brooks resets himself back in the right-handed batter's box. The payoff pitch, 3-2, as it misses just off the outer edge of the plate, and Hoffman can't believe it. Dips his head in displeasure and is headed down to first base as Brooks Carlson. That'll bring up Hackenberg for a plate appearance with 2 outs and a man on.
And good plate approach from Carlson. Good discipline. Didn't chase anything out of the zone. Just worked the count well. Fastball, or that breaking ball rather, from the right-hander Hoffman just above the letters, but couldn't entice Carlson. As a result, he draws the 2-out walk and puts the go-ahead run aboard.
So Hackenberg at the plate in a big spot in the ball game. Watches a fastball in the inner half, a called strike. Hackenberg trying to move the line for the Harbor Hawks and keep this top of the 9th inning alive. Hoffman's 0-1. Breaking ball. That's in the air to left field. That's going to fall just to the right of the chalk. A fair ball. It's going to keep on rolling just in front of the track. Able to scoop it up is Langworthy. And trotting into third base is Carlson. It'll be met on the corners as Hackenberg does his job and keeps the train rolling. That'll give way to Jackson Olsen.
He's had a nice debut tonight. 2 hits on the day for him. One of them for an RBI. He's also walked twice. A very productive 5 plate appearances at the plate this evening. And now Jackson Olsen, who had the 3-hit day opening night, has a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. Although, Brendan, not to put it past us, with the amount of wild pitches and pass balls there have been today, very possible that final run could be plated across in a different fashion.
And perhaps Brooks Carlson, standing at third base with that walk, rattled Hoffman a little bit as he drops in a breaking ball at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Olsen with a chance to redeem himself. An 0 for 4 evening thus far with a couple of strikeouts, but that could all be erased if he can drive in that go-ahead run. Hoffman, a long pause, a deep breath, staring over at Carlson at third. Now delivers an 0-1. That's in the air to center field, falling fast, diving and making the catch in center field is done. He keeps the Harbor Hawks off the board with a sensational play in center field, a full extension dive as he hits the deck to retire the side. Taking away a base knock from Jackson Olsen. We go to the bottom of the ninth, still tied here from Gov Fuller Field, 9-9 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the ninth inning here from Gov Fuller Field, and perhaps some life charged back into the Commodores as a diving play made by Dunn in center field to end the top half of the ninth inning and keep the Harbor Hawks off the board. Perhaps will ignite the bats as Connor Ash is back on the hill for his second inning of relief, and he pumps in a fastball that misses down and in, 1-0. This is Blake Dunn, who just made that spectacular grab in center field as a fastball again. Just misses off the outer edge. Ball to no strikes. Austin Langworthy and Tyler Ross, who came in to pinch hit earlier on in the game, will be due up here in the bottom of the ninth. That one catches the bottom of the zone, make it 2-1. Done 0 for 3 with a walk and 3 strikeouts as well, but just made up for it with that spectacular glove in center field. The big cut and a miss through a fastball right down Main Street, 2-2. Taps the plate a couple times, awaiting the 2-2 from Connor Ash. Here it is, a fastball in the dirt, runs the count full. So Ash in his season debut back on Monday, walked 2 while striking out 6. And again in the last frame, walking 1 and striking out 3 more. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fastball just misses off the outer edge. And that's ball 4. Dunn heads down to first. That'll bring up Austin Langworthy.
Now batting, the left fielder from the University of Florida, number 26, Austin Langworthy.
And just tough for Ash. He had the 2-strike count, went after him with a couple of fastballs, but couldn't quite pin it on the outside part of the plate.
So Dunn aboard at first. Ash is no doubt going to be keeping a close eye on him. Had 30 stolen bases this year, the second most in school history at Western Michigan. As the left-handed hitting Florida Gator Langworthy steps in. Ash's first offering out of the stretch, in there for a strike on the inside corner with a fastball, 0-1. Ash is ready, the kick and delivery, a breaking ball missing down low. Tried to catch the bottom of the zone, could not. Instead, evens up the count at 1-1. Commodores have hung around all night long, striking for 3, and then 5 in the 6th and 7th. To draw even at 9-9 as another fastball misses down and away, 2-1. Trying to scratch and claw their way back for their 3rd win of the season and remain undefeated on the 2019 summer. Harborhawks trying to fend off the home team and get in the win column for the first time this summer. Another fastball in there for a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. The 5'11" Connor Ash, hard-throwing right-hander from the University of Missouri. Trying to hold it down and send this one into extras as that one misses down and in. Down by the shoot tops of Langworthy. Ash smashes his fist into his glove in frustration, and now another full count to one of these Commodores hitters. Austin Langworthy's been aboard twice tonight. Has yet to square one up, though. A spin and a check back on first. Now they got a caught in a pickle, and applying the tag at first is Carlson. What a move from Connor Ash over to first base to get the out.
And what a quick pickoff move, too. Almost in the blink of an eye. Blake Dunn caught off of first, was taking a bit of a jab step towards second. Didn't even have an attempt to dive back to the bag. Carlson just tagged him right on the back.
Almost as if Ash read Dunn's mind over there at first base. It was a jump throw instead of lifting the back foot to step off, as a big wave and a miss that time from Langworthy strikes him out. So back-to-back outs on just one pitch from Connor Ash. There's a pickoff at first base, and Carlson doing the rest, applying the tag to Blake Dunn, and then Austin Langworthy down by way of the K. As Tyler Ross is the last hope for the Commodores in the bottom of the 9th. Ash out of the windup once again, where he's most comfortable, delivers a fastball down below the zone for a ball, 1-0.
Well, they got a pinch hitter in now, Brennan. They called upon just at the last minute Sean Harrington out of Babson University, a short lefty.
So a 2-0 count now to the pinch hitter, Harrington. My apologies, who has now been subbed into the ball game. Was actually behind the plate in the last half, or top half of the inning. A 2-1 count now to the backstop for the Commodores. Ash working quickly. Here's the 2-1, offering a fastball. Big wave and a miss as the mitt popped behind the plate from Hackenberg. Fires it back to Ash, who's working now with a 2-2 count. Right-hander eyeing for a strikeout, the 2-2. Breaking ball slapped off the end of the bat toward third. Played on a hop by DeSantelo. Throw across the diamond and a nice stretch from Carlson to reel it in, and that retires the side. Connor Ash doing his job in his second inning of relief out of the bullpen. Keeps the ball game tied, and once again, for the second time in 3 games, the Hyannis Harborhawks headed to extra innings, this time from Gov Fuller Field, when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here from Gov Fuller Field, it's 9-1-2 due up for the Harbor Hawks in extra innings for the second time in 3 games so far on the summer of 2019. Bryce Teodosio, Mitch McIntyre, and Nick Lofton due up in the top of the 10th against Logan Hoffman, the right-hander, working his second inning in relief out of the bullpen. Drops in a breaking ball backdoor on Bryce Teodosio for strike 1. Hoffman's 0-1, a fastball sent straight back into the backstop. Bryce tonight, a strikeout, a walk, grounded into a fielder's choice, and also was flown out to right. Hoffman working with an 0-2 count, a breaking ball way over the top of that one was Teodosio. He goes down on strikes for the second time tonight to start things off in extras.
He just flipped a good breaking ball to Teodosio. Tried to get out in front of it, but a little too far out in front, coming up empty.
That'll bring up Mitch McIntyre. 6th plate appearance for Mitch tonight out of BYU. The right fielder hit by a pitch, struck out, bounced one to second, also struck out again, and then bounced out to second. Flip-flopping strikeouts and groundouts tonight as he watches a fastball up and in that brushes him off the plate a bit for ball 1. One-0 from Hoffman, a fastball that misses off the outer edge of the plate. 2 balls, no strikes now to Mitch. Again, the new rule in the Cape Cod Baseball League in 2019. Just 1 extra inning should the game remain tied. That is what it will be, a draw. 2-0 pitch sent in the air, up and out of play off to the left. Just behind us and off into the night. 2 balls and a strike. Harbor Hawks dropped their first game of the season in extras to the Chatham Anglers on opening night at McKeon Park. Trying to avoid that same fate here again to the Falmouth Commodores in game 3. 2-1 pitch, an off-speed pitch missing outside. Tried to paint the black, did Hoffman that time. Instead, it's a 3-1 count in favor of Mitch McIntyre. Hoffman's wind and the offering, sliced foul again off to the left. So McIntyre runs the count full 3-2 with 1 away here in the 10th. To say the least, it's been an entertaining ball game. Both teams scoring runs in bunches. The payoff from Hoffman upstairs, he walked him. So McIntyre trots down to first base, and that'll give way to Nick Lofton.
And once again, Brennan got the right part of the order coming up to the plate. The leadoff man, McIntyre, gets on for the second time tonight. Now you got the 2-3 hitters coming up, Lofton and Hauber. Just in need of 1 run in this 9-9 deadlock.
We'll see if the Harbor Hawks elect to play some small ball with 1 away in the inning to try and push that runner across. First pitch to Lofton, a fastball at the knees, a called strike. Strike zone has been stretched a bit for both sides throughout the night. Rudy Fernbach behind the plate. Lofton spins the bat a few times out in front of him. Corrals it again. Both men set except an attempt on a pickoff back to first of Mitch McIntyre, who slides the hand back in time. We saw Connor Ash in the bottom of the 9th with a heck of a move over to first base to get the second out of the inning. The 0-1. Fastball in the air on the shallow outfield grass, drifting back after it is Rinaldi. He's set and makes the grab. 2 down now for the last hope in the 10th, Trevor Hauber.
Now batting, the left fielder from Arizona State University, number 10, Trevor Hauber.
Well, you talked about it. The stage is set for Trevor here in this 10th inning. He showed flashes of power at school. And now with the runner aboard at first here in the 10th and 2 away. Last hope for the Harbor Hawks to take the lead in the 10th. If they cannot score, the best they can do is draw. First pitch swinging for him. He lifts it on the air in the infield as Moreto moving under it. Just in front of the lip of the grass, he'll make the grab, and the game will stay tied as we head to the bottom of the 10th. So the Harbor Hawks draw a walk, but cannot bring the run around to score as we remain deadlocked at 9, headed to the bottom of the 10th. Hyannis trying to at least get a draw here at Gov Fuller Field when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
The third baseman from
Bottom of the
Sacramento,
10th set to get underway here in
31,
Falmouth.
Steven Moretto.
It'll be Steven Moretto, Jake Frasca, and Austin Mazel set to face Connor Ash for his third inning of work and his second appearance in a Hyannis uniform in 2019. Right-hander kicks and deals, first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. So Connor Ash has already struck out 4 today. Struck out 6 in his first 3 innings against Chatham. Now counters with another breaking ball. This is fouled off. So quickly 0-2. But under new Cape Cod League rules, games will not go past the 10th inning. If Falmouth doesn't score here, it'll just end in a deadlock at 9-9. 0-2 offering. High fastball tapped foul.
Well, lose or draw here tonight for the Harbor Hawks. Connor Ash out of the bullpen has been nothing short of magnificent in his 2 outings. Second time in as many appearances he's gone into his third inning of work.
Now the righty gazes over his glove, fires home, fastball up high. Couldn't entice the hitter Moretto. It'll be 1-2. So tonight ultimately confirms Hyannis will not pick up their first win here at Gov Fuller since the year of 2015. However, they can still draw. 1-2. Chops foul back off the screen. Once again, that last win came July 14th, 2015. But Falmouth has given Hyannis its fair share of woes over the last couple of years, and they go back as recently as, well, just last summer. Ash gazes over the glove again. Ready out of the windup, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the night for the Missouri Tiger, Connor Ash, as he fans Moretto for the first out of the bottom of the 10th.
Now, Connor Ash again just keeps on rolling. His 5th strikeout of the night for him. Racked up 6 back in an opening night at the hands of the Chatham Anglers, 11 on the season. Through 5 1/3, he has been magnificent.
So now 1 down, it'll bring up Jake Frasca. The righty Ash working right on top of the bump. Winds and fires. First pitch, fastball in for a strike on the inner half. But going back to last year, Hyannis lost the series 4-2 to Falmouth. They lost all 3 here at Gov Fuller. And the 0-1 spiked in the dirt, count evens. But that was just in the regular season. Then playoff time came around, and Falmouth took 2-0 over the Harbor Hawks to eventually advance to the Western Division Final, where they would eventually get their domino tipped over by the Wareham Gatemen, who went on to win the league last season. As Ash puts a fastball low, backhanded by Hackenberg, it's 2-1. So Falmouth won on opening night last season, last season when these two teams faced off the first day of the year. Now the 2-1, swing and a miss. They won 2-0 in the playoffs, and once again, they've won every game against the Harbor Hawks here at Gov Fuller Field, dating all the way back to the middle of the summer in 2015. Ash ready, the 2-2 offering. Swinging a foul back off the glove of Hackenberg and gets back to the screen. In fact, Falmouth walked off Hyannis twice last year at Gov Fuller Field in 4 trips here, including the playoffs. One on a Maverick Hanley double, a catcher out of Stanford, and then in the playoffs as well. 2-2. And did it hit him off the helmet, or did it hit him off the bat? Yeah, it got him off the helmet. They're going to call dead ball as a hit by pitch, and moving down to first base will be the hitter Jake Frasca. The winning runs aboard for the Commodores.
The right fielder from College of the
It's a little confusing at first. He didn't really move out of the box. Maybe he didn't think himself it hit him. Who knows? But home plate umpire Rudy Firmback confirming that it got him right on the helmet. And in fact, Chad Gassman having a couple words with the home plate umpire as well. He's not sure if that ball really nipped him or not.
Yeah, of course, Frasca always going to side with the fact that, yeah, it hit me, but Chad Gassman, not so sure.
I was going to say, he seemed a little hesitant coming out of the box. He didn't really move a step or two at first. Now head coach Jeff Trundy is going to opt to bring in a pinch runner for Frasca. It'll be Maddox Houghton, the outfielder from Lipscomb University. So he comes in to run.
First base for the Commodores.
And now the hitter will be Austin Maisel. So Maisel digging into the left-handed box. Ash, the one-out free pass now into the stretch. Quick pick over to first. Almost throws it away from Carlson, but he backhands it quickly. And he keeps it in front of him as a result. Diving back safely was the runner Houghton. And we'll do it all again, awaiting the first pitch. Now the offering to Maisel. Fastball in for a strike. So the walk-off double from Hanley last year, the catcher out of Stanford, and a Cameron Cannon RBI single to ultimately advance Falmouth into the Western Division Final, walking off the Harbor Hawks to end last season. 0-1, breaking ball down. And additionally with that, Falmouth's eliminated Hyannis from the playoffs the last couple of times they've gone up against each other. So Hyannis trying to get back to the top of the totem pole against their Western Division foe. And ultimately can't win tonight, but looking to draw. Pitch from Ash, swinging a blooper into shallow center. In comes the center fielder, McIntyre, dives, or Teodosio dives, can't get there. Drops in front of him, hitting the brakes at second base will be the runner Houghton. He stops right there. And a one-out bloop single from Austin Maisel moves the winning run up 90 feet. So Teodosio, with a good effort out in center field, came charging in quickly. A full-out extension and a dive, but couldn't quite corral the ball.
Now, Teodosios played rather deep on that one, perhaps a no-doubles defense being employed by the Harbor Hawks. It was a tough one off the bat. Got a good jump on it, however, just couldn't get enough speed to come in on the ball. And as you mentioned, Lyle, full extension dive to try and corral it, but could not. We saw Dunn make a spectacular diving catch earlier on in the ball game, but now some trouble brewing for Connor Ash on the mound. We'll see what he can do to try and evade it.
Now they're going to have a pinch hitter in again. It'll be Trey Cruz out of Rice, who hails from Houston, Texas. Left-handed hitting as the righty Ash deals the first pitch. Breaking ball, good for a strike. So outside of the hit by pitch, Ash, there's no secret about it. He's a strike thrower. He goes right after hitters, and as a result, it's led himself to a healthy dose of strikeouts. He checks the runner at second, out of the stretch in the 0-1. In the dirt, checked his swing. Did he go around? Yes, he does, says third base umpire Ryan Damari. He broke those wrists pretty far out in front of home plate, so not too tough of a call, but it'll move the count to 0-2. 9-9 the score, 1 down, 2 on. The 0-2 count to the hitter Cruz. Here it comes. Foul back.
And just barely getting a piece to stay alive that time was Cruz. Again, that lively fastball featured from Ash. Try to elevate it yet again, as so many Harbor Hawk relievers have tonight. They've enticed Commodores hitters time and time again.
Ash ready, the offering. Ground ball out to second. Charging in Olsen, he fields it cleanly, flips to first in time. But it's a productive out as Houghton moves down to third. Up to second, the runner Austin Maisel, although he doesn't really matter. So with 2 outs and 2 on, the winning run 90 feet away. The last hope, Chris Rinaldi out of Holy Cross.
And Rinaldi had an RBI single earlier on in the ball game back in the 7th that played a couple of runs. But other than that, 0 for 3 on the night. So big spot in the ball game for both Ash and Rinaldi, obviously.
Now Ash ready. First pitch, breaking ball. That misses away. Of course, he does have a base to give. But judging from the way Ash pitches, likely he's just going to go right after the hit of Rinaldi. However, he does have a little bit of a safety net if he needs one and opts to be careful. From the set, 1-0. Ground ball out to short. Fielded cleanly by Nick Lofton. Throws across and it's in time. So that'll do it right there as Connor Ash holds the score at 9-9, and that'll be the ball game. Hyannis and Falmouth tie 9-9 at Gov Fuller Field, and that's how this one will end. So no win for Hyannis, but they pick up their first point of the summer from a 9-9 draw and get on the board in the Western Division standings. So Hyannis 0-2-1, Falmouth 2-0-1. And Brendan, yes, it was a tough go of it at the end. The bullpen couldn't quite hold the lead, but there are a lot of positives that come out of tonight's game. Obviously, you can look at Tyler Madison. We'll get to him on our video post-game show. You can look at the fact that Connor Ash, another great outing, but I think the thing that has to stand out the most is how great the offense was. I mean, they put up 9 in the game, and it wasn't 9 off a bunch of wild pitches and unearned runs. Of course, there was a little bit of that, but there was just flat-out hitting and good hitting by this Hyannis ball club tonight.
Absolutely, and what a response it was from this Hyannis offense, too, after getting shut out 11-0 at the hands of the Katuitt Cavaliers just a couple of nights ago. To come back and put up 9 runs on the road in your first road trip of the season, it just showed it's great resilience and great offense being put forth by the Harbor Hawks. They'll look to continue that tomorrow in an afternoon game against Wareham, which the defending champions, of course, coming into your own house, that's some incentive to play well right there. So I think the bats will keep swinging. And again, like you said, Tyler Madison was splendid. We'll get to him a bit later on. But a tremendous response. And even though you come out with a draw, again, like you mentioned, there's a ton of bright spots in this ballgame.
Absolutely, and one of them will go right up on the scoreboard as the Cape Cod League is calculated by points. Wins are 2 points, losses obviously none, but ties are 1. So 1 point will be in the Harbor Hawks' name in the CCBL standings when you go look at the current standings come tomorrow. But Brendan, you touched on it with Wareham coming to McKeon tomorrow, back in Hyannis for an afternoon showdown. For these Harbor Hawks, first off, it's the Wareham gatemen will be coming in by train, so coming in old-fashioned. But for these newly offensive-heavy Harbor Hawks after the displaying tonight, what do you really think is going to be kind of the key for tomorrow, taking on a Gateman team that, of course, yes, they were the defending champs, but it's a brand-new ball club, it's brand-new players, and now they're starting to get some momentum. So how do you see them kind of building off this tomorrow?
I think it's just all about staying aggressive, Lyle. You know, they got it out in front early in counts. They forced these pitches to work a little bit tonight, and then resulting deeper in counts, resulted in more fastball counts, which allowed more barrels to reach the baseball tonight. And I think that the Harbor Hawks will just continue to try and stay aggressive tomorrow. The pitching is what it is. The bullpen, although they couldn't hold on tonight, there is a lot of bright spots in Connor Ash, as we saw tonight, and a couple more guys, Billy Corcoran, who we didn't see tonight. But moving forward, I think it's all about just staying aggressive and having a patient approach as well. And it resulted in a mix of that going forward for the Harbor Hawks to try and rally some more runs on the board and get some wins.
So momentum going for Hyannis, no doubt about it. A 9-9 tie as we sign off for the final time tonight. But the Hyannis Harbor Hawks back in action tomorrow, back at home at McKeon Park, taking on the Wareham Gatemen. First pitch then is set for 2 o'clock p.m. Catch us on the air at 1:45. But for one final time, Hyannis 9, Falmouth 9 on the road from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth tonight. And once again, for Brendan Howe, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for joining us here on this Friday evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon from McKeon Park in Hyannis.